All right, maybe it'll work this time. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what is going on with it. It's my internet, I guess. I don't know. It shouldn't be. I don't have a kid home streaming, but Hadi came home and he went to stream his television, and I guess it takes up a lot more. It takes up a lot more stuff than I knew. I'm sorry, you guys. It's so stupid. It is so stupid. It is what it is. I can't do anything about it. It's so dumb. Hey, Jamie. You know what it is? Blake came home and he went right on to his. Um, he's obsessed with watching Dexter. You guys. So he put it right on, and then I went, you know, what it is. Sorry. It's like I can't do anything about it. Hey, Susie. Nah, it doesn't matter. He's like, and then he won't hear me because the front of the house is not near the back of the house, so I have to. I called him on his phone. I go, could you just turn your television off? Do you need to do that right now? And he like logged off, and he goes, I hope that helps. So there you go. Yes, he's obsessed with Dexter. Guys, I never really watched that show. My oldest daughter, she's really into it, but I was never that into it. But he's into it. Yeah, the moment you got on, it knocked me off. Well, you can sit down, but you just can't watch Dexter. You can't watch streaming because it knocked me off. I'm sorry. It put me in a spiral of death. You like Dexter too, Susie? Yeah, he likes Dexter. He's really into it, and I think it's cool. But I don't know. It's just I'll be glad when we get somewhere where our internet is more stable. I mean, and I started my first live stream. You missed it a minute ago, and the guy behind us, who's been quiet all day, suddenly decided to have his whatever, the air compressor or whatever he's doing. Yeah, he stopped for this minute, but he he may not. You thought it was your internet? No, girl, it's probably mine. Guys, I'm telling you, nothing in Hawaii is what you think it's going to be. It's like people move here and think it's going to be like, come on vacation and they're like, oh, that was such a fun place to vacation. Hey, Carla.
At our new place, I'm going to do everything to have absolutely zero problems with
connection. Yeah. Hadi says he's going to do zero.
Hardwired.
He's going to hardwire everything so we don't have any problems. We shouldn't have any problems now, but we do. There's nothing I can do about it. Hey, Shelly, how are you? Well, I'm glad you guys came back to hang out and glue with me. So some of you guys had traditional Thanksgiving, and some of you didn't. I mean, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So you guys, I'm in another world. So how many of you guys? What do you do for New Year's Eve? Does anybody have their a special New Year's Eve tradition? When I lived in New York City, we used to have an annual New Year's Eve party, and it was really fun. You're having a blizzard, Sherry? Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But this, since we moved to Hawaii, one of us or both of us always have had to work. Yes, Meridell Streamathon. I'm going to be on Meridell Streamathon. She asked me a while ago, and I said yes. I'll be on New Year's Eve at 3 o'clock. That'll be my tradition this year. But we used to go out, but it's like one of those things where when you work here, everything is sort of like you're going to sleep. Good for you. Everything sort of like gears up when you work in a travel, a worldwide destination, which Hawaii is. So we stopped. Obviously, we don't have that tradition here. Bree's babysitting, and you're planning to hold down the couch. Should hopefully start feeling better. Oh, Jamie, girl, I hope you feel better. I really hope you feel better. Well, thanks for everybody who's decided to come back. I appreciate it. And hang out with me while I craft and chat. Hi, Athena. How are you, girl? So I'm just going to glue my little glue book. And I'm sorry that I lost everybody a minute ago, but it is what it is. I can't do anything about it. Your sister is vacationing in Hawaii right now. Oh, Barb, it's like a madhouse. I went to the store. I don't really leave the house very much. And I went to the store to just get a few things. And, we're not back to the normal, what do you call it? Like, everything's being delivered. And so like there's hardly anything on the shelves. So hopefully, oh gosh, you guys, would this not be a paper crafter's paradise? It says Uganda, when the windows turn to the law, the battle of abuse and property grabbing and odds against them can be formidable. This is an archivist who works in the records room at Manago Chief Magistrate Court, one of the local courts, overwhelmed by backlogs. Look at all that paper. You guys look at all that paper. We'd be like, woo, we could junk journal in here. They're in a VBRO. It looks like nobody's around. It's pretty packed. The airports are pretty packed, but a lot of people are staying. Like, a lot of people get their own kitchens and stuff. And so there's not every restaurant's opening anymore anyway, but the shelves are pretty bare. Yeah, it was like, I don't even remember what it was that I was looking for, but it was just like bare. We're not back up to capacity of our shipping stuff. But guess what? My car left here on the 12th of November, and it finally made it to my house. It made it to my house a couple of days ago. Isn't that awesome? It was only supposed to take 2 weeks, and it took a month and whatever. A month and a half. So anyway, I'm gonna glue for a little bit. I'm gonna see if I can find some space in here. You have no Gatorade anywhere to be found? Ooh. That guy would not appreciate us swiping his paper for journals. You're probably right. You are probably right. You are right. So anyway, I may do a very small, optimal word, small, last minute sale tomorrow night. If I can. It just depends upon, because I've had to make some hard decisions of what I can take and what I can't. And so it's only my treasures. It's like just a little fabric, some odds and end things, and that's all. It'll just depend. I'm gonna do some more cleaning and clearing and seeing if I can figure it out. This is like a spruce in in Poland. My mind cannot. My verbiage is not good. So we'll see. It's just like, when it's your treasures, it's kind of hard to just leave them behind. There's none in Wisconsin either. Oh my gosh. So what is the deal with what's going on with Gatorade? Like, I had no idea about Gatorade. Really? Seriously? There's no Gatorade? That's crazy. That is crazy. You finally got smart and ordered some on Amazon? Oh wow. I had no idea. What's the deal with Gatorade? Like, that's not something I would even know about. What is going on with Gatorade and the lack of Gatorade? Oh, did you guys see Carla Cage Fish? She put out a video for her glue book January. You guys, she does glue book January every year because it's her birthday in January, and she's doing a scavenger hunt book. So that'll be fun to do along with her. And if you guys don't know her, you should definitely get to know her. She is so fun. Carla Caged Fish is her YouTube channel name. Ordering it on Amazon, like, yeah. But see, you know what's so silly? It's like living here in Hawaii for years, things wouldn't even ship here. But, I mean, now we can just get just about everything. But for years, it didn't ship here. You guys, I just got glue on the bottom of this page, and I love this book, but it's old, and having the pages stick together because of my glue is ridiculous. I wonder if I have anything to go on that. So you finally got smart. Yeah, I get it. What did you say? You got it in 2 days? Wow, from Amazon? Well, that's awesome. That is super awesome, Jamie. Did anybody get anything spectacular for Christmas? Anybody get anything where you go like, that was just the most spectacular thing? You're going to do it when this live's over, order your stuff. Good for you, Sherry. I'm sorry, but what's the deal with Gatorade, though? Isn't that such a bizarre thing that there's no Gatorade? Am I wrong? I mean, is that like a normal thing? I mean, I'm not up on all the Gatorade situations, but I think that's a little weird. Yeah, like this. You got a Ninja blender? Oh, good for you. You got a gift for me. You know, you wanted one of those flour sack things, and I had an extra one. You know what, Jamie? I have had the sad thing. The good things about being here for me was the weather, that sort of thing. That how beautiful it is here. The sad thing was, not being, would catch as catch can when it comes to like collecting things. And I guess if you don't teach or you don't really need things, it doesn't really matter, right? But when you do, you do. So, the sad thing is, I was glad I had an extra one. I didn't even know I did, Jamie. That's how bad. I was just going through all my stuff, and when I found it, I was like, I know who this is going to. And Jamie, the flour sacks didn't come from here. I think I got them. I've had them for about 10 or 12 years. I got them from somebody in the Midwest. I don't remember exactly well. You cried. Well, now you can make yourself a journal out of it or whatever. It was actually a whole one. Generally, I find them in pieces, but that one was a whole one. That was a whole one. So you guys, sometimes when I'm not sure where I'm going to put something, I'll just tack it down so I don't lose it. Well, I'm glad you liked it, girl. For all the help you've given me, you so deserve it. So if I get it together, I'm only going to glue with you guys for a little while. If I get it together, I might try to come on late tonight and do the short sale. If I can, if not, I'll do it tomorrow. I found a whole bunch of, and I already put this in the book someplace, but I kind of like it. So I found a whole bunch of fat quarters that I had gotten. Oh my gosh, you guys, probably got these fat quarters a good 10 years ago from a now defunct mercantile store that had been here in Maui for a long time. And it had all kinds of old Hawaiiana. Like you could go in there and buy like an old Hawaiian shirt or something like that. Let me see. It's just going to leave the 24. Anyway, so I found some of those. And I kept some for myself, but not, I can only, you guys, we're limited to we're limited to 2 suitcases. So I've already gotten pretty much my suitcases are full. We limited ourselves to 2 suitcases. And yes, I did ship some of stuff to myself, but at some point you have to draw the line. I think we figured out that we have spent on our move. We spent $5,000 to ship our cars. The kids didn't understand why you were crying. I'm glad I had something, girl. You know, it's like if I lived on the mainland, I probably would have a lot more treasures, but I don't. So, and you've helped me so much, Jamie. I couldn't have gotten through this. So it cost us $5,000 to ship our cars. It's cost us at least $3,000 to ship just like some things that Blake needed for his work, some stuff I've needed. It costs that. And then we'll talk about our plane tickets. So our plane tickets, so that was what, 5 and 3, that's 8,000, not to mention vetting the pets and all that sort of stuff. So that we have to do. That's, I don't know, probably $500 each. I'm hoping less, but probably not. So that's what, 9,000. And then our plane tickets are probably 1,400 or 1,500. So that's at $10,500. And that doesn't include all the little incidentals and all the other stuff. So it's cost us to move probably close to 15,000. If I sit down, and I'm in a little bit of denial because I don't want to really know how much it's cost us to move. Plus the fact that we're paying like rent here and paying for our house and, you know, basically paying double bills. But yeah, that's what it's been. That is what it's been. Crazy, yeah? So crazy. Well, I'm sorry you liked it. So, you know, I had to draw the line somewhere. I had to draw the line and say, okay, as much as I'd like to take all this stuff, I can't take it all. You know, it's just not not realistic. If that makes sense. I'm telling you guys, get yourself. This is just a Harbrace College Handbook. It was, and I liked it because of the size, because it's kind of small. See, my hand's pretty small, so it's pretty small. So I think it's like 5x7 or something, but it has bloomed. And I did glue a couple pages together. I don't think I tore any out, or maybe I tore some out in the back because I put, you know, I have this little pocket back here. Maybe I should look and see what's in here. I tore some pocket, but I don't think I did. More treasures will be found. Oh, well, I know there will be. So one of the reasons why we're stopping in Las Vegas is, you know, I told you guys my sister, she just downsized. She just moved from a really big house, and her husband retired, and they bought a small home in Las Vegas. And when she was moving, because I've lived here for so long and she had kept some of the things that were like my family's, like my mother's. And so since she's downsized, I can glue that one to that side. Since she's downsized, she has a storage, and I guess her husband's giving her a hard time about it. But she said, please come and see what you want of Mom's. And she saved some of things that I would have really loved to have had, like my great grandmother, like a small table that was my great grandmother's, like a marble top table that came from her, like an old rocking chair that was my grandmother's, and some stuff. And so I think she saved me some stuff. So I'm kind of excited about that. I love this picture of this lady laughing. I just love it. So I'm excited about that. So that's one of the reasons. I mean, plus I want to see her. Like, I thought we'd be able to see each other before now, but it just hasn't happened. You know, she has a really big family, and my family's not as big as hers, but she's got a really big family, and often she just enjoys going to see her kids and stuff. I'm excited for us too. Guys, Do you guys ever like look at the stuff you've saved and you're like, why did I save this? I don't know why I saved this. I mean, I know why I did because I like it, but it's just kind of funky and whatever. That one might be good. So I'm gonna go get some treasures from her. So I'm excited about that. Well, I may not get them right then, but I'm gonna take a look at what she has. She saved me some. She had this enormous, beautiful, beautiful home in Charlotte that they moved from a couple of years ago when her husband got transferred. Now realize they got transferred in the middle of the pandemic. I mean, had they known they were going to ask him to retire, or they asked he was like a vice president in a big company, and they were asking, I guess, a lot of the people that have been there a long time to retire. So I think had they known that they were going to retire, or had they known that that was going to be an option for them, I don't think they would have moved. But they moved from Charlotte to Northern California, and then when he found out he was going to retire, they had already rented out their home in North Carolina for like a really long lease. They had this huge house, like 5 or 6 thousand square feet, beautiful home on a lake in Charlotte, and they moved. They discussed it, and I guess he's always wanted to live in Vegas, so that's where they moved. I mean, I don't think it's forever, but it's for right now, right? So then she said, they moved at the worst time as far as like the housing market because of the crazy, the housing boom or whatever going on. So I'm going to get some treasures from there. And I think I'm going to go thrift store shopping in Vegas. Vegas has amazing thrift stores. You guys know I lived in Vegas for a little bit, for like a minute. My job transferred me there. So what are you guys making? I want to see what you guys are working on. What are you working on? What is everybody working on? Oh, Jamie, I hope you feel better. So you guys pipe in and tell me what you're working on. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what you're working on. Tell me what you are working on. You're working on feeling better backgrounds. That sounds good. You guys, this was the least stressful holiday I've had in years. And I don't know whether it was just because I was so tired that I didn't have any expectations for myself, or whether it was just I don't know. But it was so not stressful. I want to relive it again. Like I definitely want to do that again next year. The stress thing in the holidays for me, I don't know. I know I can't be the only one that stresses out over the holidays. Hey, Penny, you're working on clusters? You're doing a gratitude journal to give to your friends? Oh my gosh, that's nice. Barb, you're glue booking along with me. For me, guys, it's like, I know Laura, the Jersey crafter, she used to say, Shelley Land always says, never underestimate the power of the glue. But you know what, you guys? It's true. It's like the power of the glue. The glue gets you through a lot of stuff. Glue gets you through a lot. So, yeah, the glue gets you through a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot. Hey, Susie, you're going to make a journal to do the scavenger hunt with Janet M. Young starting the first. Oh, nice. You know what I found one of my scavenger hunt books that I did with her, with Janet, and I just did it out of an old book. Like, I didn't even make the journal. I just glued it all in. You know who also is doing the scavenger hunt is Carla Caged Fish, and I don't know if anybody can put her link. I don't know if you can put it in the description box. If not, I'll go back after the video's over and put it, or after I finish live streaming and put it in there. She does amazing scavenger hunts. So, and I don't know what her parameters are, but she's super fun. She used to live stream a lot, and I used to watch her was it on Tuesdays that she live streamed? Guys, it has been so long since I have. Don't ask me why I kept the shoe, but I like it. I like it. I like it. So my hottie cleaned out a huge faction of my paper stuff, which you guys, I still have more scrapbook paper. I thought I had gotten a lot of. Janet does her own. You got your herb book and your fabric from you today. Oh, I'm so happy, Penny. That makes me so happy. Yeah, there you go. That's Caged Fish. And then Janet M. Young does one too, and she's so fun too. Here we go. Glass of wine. I need a glass of wine. I love a glass of wine. Here I have a boot. And I have a star ball of raindrops. So I like that. Gold rings. These Bulgari rings are amazing. I have a friend that has one. They're really amazing. Crazy expensive, but amazing. Guys, I thought I had really gotten rid of a lot of paper, and I have more. It's like, where did all this paper come from? I don't even know. It's like paper just finds its way to me. I don't know how it does, but it does. It finds its way to me easy. It definitely does. There you go. You guys go over there and check out their scavenger hunt. I did one year with Janet, and it was so fun. She does it. She also does that marathon thing too. I mean, I think it originated over with Dee Dee Willingham, and all of them used to take an hour back when it was on StreamYard. Am I wrong? Do you guys, if anybody want to pipe in? Speaking of Carla Caged Fish, that's one of her papers. That's one of her painty papers. I like this one too, and I like this. Okay, let's see what I have together. Maybe together I can make something. I don't think the shoe goes with it, but we'll see. Yeah, I think that's where it originated from. Hey, Barb. Okay, Barb is publishing hers. Okay. The link in her Google Docs. You guys, it's been so long since I've done any of that. I used to love doing it, but it has been a good long while since I have done it. And maybe next year. That'll be a goal for next year. Hey, APG. Jane, the musical scrapper, started it back many years ago. Mary took it over last year for Jane, as Jane can't really see anymore. Oh, see, APG knows. She's been around this YouTube community more than me. I used to watch it, but she asked me if I would do it, and I love Meridell Abrams, you guys. I really do. She is a sweet woman. And she's always been so supportive of me, and I'm grateful for that. And so I'm happy to. It just made me feel like I had like a moment that I could, you know what I mean. I'm like, oh, okay, I can do that. And thanks you guys for everybody who sent our Barb Owen cards. I got a text from her today, and her husband is now entering the very last stages of life, and she just said thank you so much to everybody that sent her cards. It was really made her, it was awesome. So I just wanted to say thank you. I wanted to say thanks to all of you guys, because I know This crafting community has definitely seen me through some of the most stressful times I've had. But I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm lifting her up too. You've been around for 12 years. That's awesome, APG. Well, I think that, this crafting community has certainly seen me through some joyful and not so joyful times. And I'm always grateful when I can come and just hang out and craft along. And hopefully in the new year, it'll be better. Parbowen she's a wonderful person, you guys. She is so talented. I don't know how much of her talent you can really tell. You see what she does online and it's awesome. But she's like so creative beyond anything. Oh, Sherry, I'm so sorry for your loss. Whack the troll. I think I got him, Barb. I hope I got him. I hope I got him. So for those of you that got your stuff from me, thanks for letting me know. I think there's only a couple packages that I have left to mail out, and they were just for whatever reason didn't have the correct address. And thanks for everybody who's bought things for me. And now my treasures have a good home. Thank you, Jamie. Thanks for getting them. I'm grateful. But either I'll do it late tonight or tomorrow, depending upon how good I feel. But it's not a lot of stuff. I think I have maybe 5 or 6 wallpaper books left. And some of them you guys haven't seen because they were in my storage. And I can't take any more with me. I've shipped some to myself, but I can't take. There's only after we're almost 15,000. Hi, Riri. Oh, don't worry about it, girl. It's all good. You did, and that's the most important thing. And your stuff is shipped out. No, I think there's like only 1 or 2 that like. Some people sometimes bid on things, but then they never send me their information. And you guys, I'm honestly not in a space where I can just run around and chase down people. maybe in a normal world I would, but in this world right now, the one I'm living in, there is no time for that. So somebody will be mad. I got an email from somebody who said, well, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I'm pretty upfront. I'm not, if I wasn't leaving, it wouldn't matter, but I'm leaving. So I can't sit around and wait. Oh, Dana, love to you, girl. Love to you. So what I have left is I think I have 6 or 7 wallpaper books. I have some fabric that I have taken some, but I have to draw the line. I have a suitcase full of fabric going with me. Okay, I have to draw the line somewhere. I have just some odds and end weird stuff. That it's like somebody else would like it. Not that I don't like it. It's just, so that, and I don't know. Then I have some grab bags. I've made these like grab bags. I was going to do it. I made them I started them weeks and weeks ago. But I got so overwhelmed with myself that I didn't finish them until recently. And they're just chock-a-block full of all the weird things that I collect. Stuff to make junk journals, like no 2 are alike. So I can't exactly tell you. Basically what it was is I went through my art bins of the stuff that I was saving for myself. And just stuffed envelopes full of it. So if you're into that, that's what I'll have. It is so hard to watch your parents. Oh, Sherry, I'm sorry. Hey, Miss Sassy T. It is hard. It's hard. It's been really hard for Blake to watch his dad. I guess I feel kind of lucky. My parents, my parents were much older when they had me. My mother was in her 30s when she had me, and that may not sound like old, but back then that was. And my dad was in his 40s. So when my parents passed, so my mom was going, I was in my 40s when my mother passed. So I was like 43 or 4. And she's been gone like 14 years. So maybe I was 43 when she passed. And my dad passed when I was, oh my gosh, was I 45 or 46? And my dad was like 15 years older than my mother. And my mother wasn't that old. How old was my mother? She would be in her 90s now. So it's 15 from 90. My mother was in her mid to late 70s, but she was diagnosed with like a very aggressive form of cancer and passed really quickly. And my dad, he actually, it was crazy. My father was like, so my mother was in her 70s. My dad was, I think I'm going to say my dad was 90 when he passed. Your sisters are 12 and 15 years older than you. You were 37 when your mom passed. It's hard when you lose your mom young. I mean, you know, it was, I have to tell you, it's still hard for me because, you know, like the milestones of your life that you'd like to share with them, it's just, they're just not around for, right? But my dad, they both lived a really long life, but my dad, he passed away of a very rare congenital heart condition that nobody knew he had until he was in his 90s. Hey, Miss Malia. So I got myself a Diet Dr. Pepper and my coffee. Coffee and Diet Dr. Pepper go hand in hand, right? What did you get for Christmas, Miss Malia? It is hard to, you know, it's a weird sensation when your parents are gone. I don't know how to explain it to people that haven't experienced it yet, but it is a very weird, it's a weird feeling, you know, not having parents. Yeah, I will be 58 this year, Miss Sassy T. I will be the big 5'8" this year. The big 5'8". Yeah, I will. I will be the big 5'8". So you're 58 too, Sherry. Guys, I don't feel old, but I feel like, I mean, I don't feel any. I think I feel like I did when I was like 30. All the Christmas presents. Got a safe and a plant shelf and a pin cushion and some needles. Oh, that's nice. It is kind of like you kind of feel, it's a very weird, I think. You don't believe any of us are over the age of 20? Oh no. Your sister found your dad at your mom's graveside yesterday. He'd been there 2 hours. Oh, Dana, I'm so sorry. You know when I miss my parents every day. Grief is so personal. Don't let anybody tell you there's a certain way to grieve. I mean, you know, I just remind myself of that. My birthday's in February, Shelley. When's your birthday? You know, like everybody has their own way of grieving, and I remember when I lost my mom, I had just my youngest daughter she was little, like she was. So she was born in August, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. She was like August, September. She was like 6, 7 months old when my mother passed. She won't take his car keys. Oh, well, I don't know. We had to with my husband's father. I mean, with Hottie's father, because you know the liability. If you know, so you might want to pass this on to your sister Dana. I don't know what state she lives in, But if you know that your parents have any sort of dementia and you knowingly let them drive, the liability falls on you. And you might want to just pass that on to her, because if he hits somebody and unfortunately they die, that could be a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. They say it's like having, like, knowing your teenage kids are or knowing when somebody drives when drunk and all that sort of stuff. It's that. I mean, I'm not trying to scare your sister or anything, but put it this way: we voted in our family. We did not want the liability of his dad. I really love the picture of this lady's hands, and I would like to use the whole thing. I don't know if I have an art journal that big that's still here. Sometimes knowing the liability of things will make somebody do the right thing. So, and I love these elephants. Aren't they so cute? Cousin Lee broke one part of his dad's car, so he couldn't drive it anymore. That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. My birthday. Well, this year. Well, this coming year. I will be 58. It's like not that far away. So I like these elephants. Aren't they so cute? I do. Probably too big for the page, but I like them. Of course, they're too big for the page. I need to find a page they can fit on, though. I like those. Yep. So, yeah. I think, I don't remember exactly how we got Blake's father's keys away. Honestly, I think it was some sort of car trouble. But you know what? When he was here, he was trying to get in our car and trying to drive. And he was like digging through the drawers looking for keys. And I was like a little nervous. I love elephants. I have a whole bunch of them. Yeah, your hands are tied. Well, if she has power of attorney, then it will fall on her. It will completely and utterly fall on her. So if he wrecks, it will fall on her. She will be held liable. Didn't you just see that recently, that kid that shot all those people or whatever, his parents are being tried because they didn't lock the gun up or whatever? I mean, I don't agree with how litigious we've become as a society, and I certainly don't want to live my life in fear, but I think for some people, it helps people make smarter decisions. You've been 29 for quite a while, and you're turning 29. You're turning 29 on Friday. Well, happy 29th birthday. Guys, I don't know. I don't really celebrate birthdays anymore. I mean, if my kids are home, I'll make a cake or something like that, or we'll go out to dinner, that kind of thing, but because I'm over it. How many of you guys are over it? Like, I wish I had I don't even have any background papers around here. Like, I just need like a background paper, and then I could put that on there. Let me see if I have any background papers. Where? Guys, it's bad when you're getting down to I was like, he was so funny. He was like packing up a whole bunch of stuff. I was like, don't pack up that. He was like, why not? I said, if I want to craft. And he's like, okay. I'm sure he's rolling his eyes going, crafting? We are moving, chick. You need to stop your craft and get yourself together. I thought I had saved a handful of background papers, but I guess I didn't. Guys, why does that happen to me? Why does that happen to me? You love your birthdays? You're older than me? It's not that I don't love them. It's just, you know what? My birthday's right. I'm born on the 12th of February. So it's like right in the middle of the whole Valentine thing and whatever. And you know what? I look at it like every day is my birthday, so that I can celebrate whenever I want. Because how can I come over here with no background papers? I have a messy table because I've saved a bunch of stuff. Oh, my little wish books, or whatever you want to call them, my little, what did I call them? My little treasure books. They went over. Yeah. I just would like I would like some Asian book pages. I didn't get back here with any.
Asian book pages.
I want like old dark colored ones. Could I have that? If you if you haven't already, if we haven't already packed them all or let them go.
Just old dark Asian.
You're asking. You came back. You asked. I'm telling you, old dark Asian book pages. I don't have any background pages here. New Year's Malia tickets are bought. What are you gonna do? Wait. I'm sure you already told everyone, but even the I will be in North Carolina on the 6th. January 6th. Because we're leaving here New Year's Eve. We are flying to Las Vegas for a few days so I can see my sister. I haven't seen her. Guys, I haven't seen her. I think the last time I saw her was when my youngest daughter graduated from 8th grade. That was last year. She flew over here. Well, he's like laughing at me. He says, dark Asian book pages. Anyway, so so then we're going to spend a few days there, and then we'll be in North Carolina on the 6th. But I was super excited because my car just got there. That was like a big deal. We were like kind of wondering when it was going to get there. It's going to be cold on the 6th. Girl, so I did not get anybody Christmas presents this year. I made a couple of things, but not much. And I told you guys I didn't really get much of anything. My kids are kind of picky, and my view is I can't worry about your picky self right now. So if they didn't tell me something they wanted for sure, then, and my oldest daughter definitely said, I don't want anything handmade, because she travels all the time. She doesn't want the responsibility of having to keep it. So I understand that. And so I didn't really get anybody anything. And I called my middle daughter. And I said, what do you want for Christmas? And she couldn't tell me. And I said, well, unless you tell me, I'm not getting anything. Because the last thing, you guys know my story about when she left here, she left me a bunch of her stuff. And then I saw things that I'd made her in the trash. I mean, in the thrift, I guess it was in the trash, in the thrift store pile. And I was kind of like, I don't think so. So I'm going to pass that page until I can find something. Maybe this one will go good on this side. Anyway, so she didn't say anything. I was going to get her some attachments. I bought her she wanted what is it? That expensive mixer that we all have, KitchenAid mixer. She wanted a KitchenAid mixer last year, and I bought it. My oldest daughter and I pitched in. We got her like a really expensive one, like with a bunch of stuff, right? But I was going to buy her some attachments for it. But I said to her, could you pick out the attachments you wanted? Because they can be kind of crazy expensive. Have you guys had that experience too? Guys, I thought I saved my Restoration Hardware catalog. I'm sure I did. What in the world did I do with it? Guys, Restoration Hardware is it is a really good magazine for backgrounds. Hey, Aunt Beck. We shipped our cars from here. We shipped our cars, but we shipped them out on the 12th of November. Well, one of my kids is born in February too, so we kind of all share that month. You have all the attachments. It took several holidays. Well, I was just trying to she wanted that. I'd rather get her something she wants, and and it was, I don't know, it was like $400 or something for the thing with whatever attachments it came with at that moment. But she was like, I don't know what I want, and anyway, so I was like, okay, fine. So nobody put in their 2 cents. So I got Blake a pair of pajamas. I got him some pajamas, like. Oh, you did? Oh, thank you, babe. I got him pajamas. Grab it to me. Ooh, you did. You found one, and it's falling apart. You're a rock star. Uh-oh. Paper falling on the floor. Thank you. Thank you, babe. Thank you very
Those are
much.
kinda yellow and
These are
black.
awesome. No, it was perfect. It's absolutely what I wanted. Thank you so much. So he got some pajamas, which he's worn here because it's been kind of cold here lately, which is silly. Got him pajamas, and I bought my youngest daughter. She didn't want anything, but I bought her warm clothes anyway because, you guys, she's in denial. She's in denial about how cold it is we're going. So I bought her like sweatshirts, and I bought her pajama bottoms too, and sweatshirts, and she won't wear jeans. You guys, it's like a whole thing. You know, nothing can be easy with my kids. Things just have to be like a little, little drama filled. Maybe this would be better. It even has a bookworm bite in it, so that's cool. So I didn't buy anybody anything. It was like you guys, this is how lame I was. I got up on Christmas morning and I wrapped the presents. Since when, in my 58 years living on this planet with children, for how long have I had my children? My oldest daughter will be 30. So with 30 years of children or whatever, when have I ever gotten up on Christmas morning and wrapped gifts? Usually it's like up all night, the night before, the wrapping, the whatever. How many of you guys have that too? Guys, and she wasn't even awake early, so it didn't even matter. So I got up, like, and I had coffee. I sat at the only table that we had, our dining table, and I made her coffee. Yeah, Blake's car got here too. They didn't, guys, we shipped them the same day, but mine got here. I don't know which one got where first, but anyway, they finally got there. Poor girl, it's house sitting for us. I feel so bad for her. I didn't know it was going to be that way either. So let's just preface it by, let's see, do I like that? Do I like this? I don't know what I have, but I love these cathedral arch things. I don't know why, but I just, anyway, she calls me and she says, your cars are here. It was a whole ordeal because for a while there, they were calling us every day going, you need to pick your car up from the port or we're going to charge you. I said, charge us? What? So Blake had to get on the phone with them and say, you're shipping our cars all the way to the East Coast? We are not. Kona wanted to be able to see the bookworm part, but I guess I can't unless I move it up. Let's see how old and brittle this book page is, if it'll come up from the glue stick. Yay, it did. So we had to call to remind them that we shipped our cars all the way, so that was a whole thing. We were getting calls every day. With the time difference, it was like crack of dawn, and they were like, you need to pick your car up or you will be charged. And we were both like, what in the world are you talking about? So that was like a whole ordeal. And then they so finally, when he convinced them that our cars were to be shipped all the way, it was like one of those things. Hi, Trish. You wrapped as you go. Girl, the thing you're missing about me here is that I had done Christmas shopping for her, but I had done Christmas shopping based on the fact that I thought we were going to be moved. I didn't do and I shipped them all North Carolina. Like I did, I bought her a coat. I bought her, I don't know, clothes or whatever, anything that I thought, bought her a pair of boots. And I didn't ship anything here. So it was like crap. It was like a few days before Christmas and I realized I had 0 presents. I had to go and I went and bought a few things. Not even a lot of stuff, just a handful of things. And then, then Christmas Eve, I did the worst, which I never do, is I went and I shopped because I realized I was like, okay, what did I actually buy her? I bought her like a rainbow sweatshirt. I bought her like a t-shirt, and then I was like, and then she was getting ready to go to her grandma's, and it's cold in Massachusetts, so I was like, all right, So I bought her some. I went and did what I hate doing, shopping on Christmas Eve. You know, so I went and I did that. I went to Old Navy. That was my big shop. We don't have a lot of choices here. Okay, it was either Old Navy or Macy's, and Macy's definitely doesn't have a great selection here. So I went to Old Navy and bought her some pajama bottoms. No, I'm not moving for medical reasons. I'm moving to move. I'm moving to because it's like $1 trillion to live here, and it's no moving just to move. Originally, the whole motivation was to take care of Blake's dad, but when we realized that we couldn't take care of him, we were already kind of like entertaining that thought of moving, and we just let it go forward. No, I'm moving because I want to move, girl. Living on an island is isolating. Living on an island is isolating. Yes, we bought a home. You know what? When I first moved here 13 years ago, I could probably have afforded a home. Put it this way, I could afford a home here, but it wouldn't be a home that I could to the standard in which I'd want to live. And I'm not saying that I have such a high standard, but put it this way, you can buy a tear down here for $500,000. That doesn't mean you can live in it. That just means that the tiny 8,000 square foot lot is $500,000. And then to build it, probably $200,000-300,000. So you're talking for $800,000. You can have a 800 square foot home or less. You could buy a condo, but the condo fees are high too. No, we're moving because we want to. We're moving. At first it came about because of Blake's dad, but then after it just started unraveling, it was because we want to move. So we're moving because we want to. But it's just not so easy when you live somewhere for 13 years and it's not so easy. It's not like you can just because we're not shipping much. So to ship, if we had shipped just like a very small nominal amount of things through a shipping company, it would have been close to $15,000. And so that's nothing we have is everything we have we can replace. But Blake did take some of his things. I've taken a few of my things. It's cost us about $15,000 by the time we finish leaving here. It'll cost us about $15,000 to have moved, and that's just shipping. And you know what? Originally, we weren't even going to ship our cars, but because of the pandemic and the car shortage, I told you guys that the car that I have, I would have to pay for the same. Hey, Renee, I would have to pay more money for the car that I had paid off. I'm so excited, Aunt Beck. I can't wait. I can't wait till we have a lunch date. Meet you and Scott wherever you want. I'm super excited about that. I told Blake about it. He's like, "Oh, that's awesome." And then I see Miss Malia. Then I'll be able to, when you guys have things, hopefully I'll be able to catch up with you. We can craft together. Would love, love, love that. This is one of those reverse things that I did, where you put the gesso or the paint down, and then you put the magazine image on it. It still has pulp at the top of there. I'm glad you got your package, Renee. I'm glad you liked everything. I probably had a few more things to put in it, but girl, it was like, you guys don't even know. It's so stupid, but it's like sometimes you just look around and you're just like, where in the world did all this stuff come from? And then you're like, okay, I'm going to pack it all up. And then it got out of hand. It got out of hand. Let's see. I liked this. This was like some article about New York, but I liked the image. Yeah, so we're moving because not for health. Why would this is like if you want? Okay, yes, if you have some sort of chronic health issue, living here probably would not be the best because the medical care is not the same as what you would get on the mainland. But as far as healthy places to live, the weather's the same, pretty much 70 degrees all year round. I mean, it can get a little hotter, a little colder, but not much. So if you want to live somewhere for a climate, this would be it, but not for the crazy cost of it. Guys, it's insane. Electricity is the most expensive in the United States here in Hawaii. How stupid is that? What a racket is that? Guys, when we could actually have solar everything. I mean, they're just now promoting it, but it's not, even that's a racket. So they say that people that live in the tropics live really a long life. They live a lot longer than, because of the, I guess the lack of stress.
Okay, I found this on the web for they say that people that live in the tropics.
Look, do you love Siri? What the hell? Siri, is listening at all times. What the hell? Do you ever, Blake always says to Siri, why are you listening to me? No, it's not about, but not about illness. I mean, okay, let's get something really clear. If you have a chronic illness, you don't want to live here, at least on my island. You probably want to live on Oahu because they have more hospitals. We have only one tiny hospital with 30 beds or something silly like that. No health reasons for me. We're moving because it's just time. It is just time. But Blake's dad, on the other hand, he's healthy as a horse. He just has dementia. He just has that frontal temporal dementia, which is, aside from him getting lost here, he's healthy as all health. He has no health concerns. I need a picture to go here. I appreciate your concern, but no health issues here for me to move. Although, if you do have them, they make a joke here. If you get sick, get on a plane, get somewhere else, because the healthcare system is we just live on an island. They don't have to harness the volcanic power. I don't know, Riri. It's so stupid. Really, Sherry? Siri, do you love Siri? I don't know what the heck. Siri always comes on. I was on a conference call the other day. Siri came on and started talking. I was like, oh, this is great. This is great. I was on a call and Siri, I was on a Zoom meeting and Siri starts to talk. I love this eye. I don't remember what magazine it came from, but I love it. My elephants would look good, but I think they take up the whole page and I don't want to cut them off. Look, they take up the whole page. I don't know how much I can cut off, and I'd have to cut off their booties. I like them. Let's grab something small. No, we are moving because we bought a house. We are moving because our youngest daughter, who I thought would have the hardest time, she said, Mom, I want a different experience. I said, okay. And it came sort of the impetus for the original thought was because of his dad. And we thought we were going to move to live near him. And then we started talking about how neither one of us really want to live in the cold weather anymore, even though we have. Oh, look, kitty. Even though both of us have at some point lived in cold weather. And then it just kind of, it's kind of like a stream of thought and consciousness where you just move from one to the next. And then that house I found came up. And when I saw that house, I was like, I need that house. And so the house it was. The house it was. So I'm excited because I love old Victorian homes. I'm so excited. Blake's brother was making fun of us and saying something I don't know what he said. He said something he didn't call it this old house. He called it the money pit or something like that. And I don't think so. I mean, the house is in really good condition. It was taken care of and loved so much. The house is 116 years old. I'm super excited about that. I think I can pass on the old boot, but I do like the passport and I do like the watch. The watch I really like. You guys know who I'm obsessed with watching right now? This is so silly, but I have it on in the background. It is a very cool house. I'm very excited because I was dumb. When we first moved here, I should have bought a house, but I didn't because at the time it wasn't that big of a concern. We weren't paying, the rent was high, but it wasn't like as crazy as it's gotten. And I wasn't quite sure what side of the island I actually really wanted to live on. It's kind of hard because the jobs that pay the most are on the least desirable sides of the island to live on. Because one of them is super hot, and the other one, it's just how it rolls here. I need something for this page. I still have a lot of blank pages. Oh, I loved this. Came from some sort of like health and healing magazine. But I was dumb. I should have bought a house then, but we didn't, because if we did, we'd be stuck here. So it's good that we didn't. Riri says everyone she's known that moved to Hawaii came back. That includes the Northeast. Hey. It's insanely expensive to live here. I mean, it's insanely expensive. When you come to visit, you'll see how insanely expensive it is to visit. It's like way more than you think it would be. It is insanely expensive all the way around. I love this. It's a big old boot. Here, this is here. This is here in McKenna Beach. After many years of living here. Yeah. Well, a couple things. If you do have any underlying health conditions, you can't get the same sort of medical treatment you can other places. It just, at least on this island. I'm not saying you can't on another island, but on this island. So that's something you have to take into consideration if you do have some sort of illness. If you're on a fixed income, you have to think about living here because things here, inflation is unlike anything else. Like when the things stop shipping here, then whatever's on the shelves gets to be more and more and more expensive. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense to me, but it is. It's just what it is. Hey, Laura, how are you, girl? It's a beautiful place to visit. I don't know that, at least with inflation the way it is right now, that I would recommend anybody running to move here at the moment. It's crazy expensive right now. It just is what it is. Yep. No, we did get this great house. I'm like super excited about the house. The house, I have to say, is like, guys, I didn't even know I needed a house. Hey, Val. Yes, I'm still here, girl. I am still here. We are working our way through. We're leaving New Year's Eve. When are you leaving, girl? We're leaving New Year's Eve. We are leaving New Year's Eve. I'm excited about it, though. Val can tell you she's lived here most of her life. And she's lived on multiple islands, so she can tell you how crazy expensive it is and out of whack. It is insanely expensive. You're all checked out of your house and at the apartment hotel, and you fly out on the 5th. Oh, good. Well, we leave here New Year's Eve, and then we will be in Vegas for a few days to visit my sister, and then we will be in our house. How far along is your house coming, Miss Val? When will you? When is the expected finish of your house? Crazy expensive, even to vacation. We have a week in Hawaii for the price of one night here. Yeah, I get it. I totally get it, girl. You guys, you can't rent a room on my island for under $1,500 a month. That's renting a room in somebody's house. We're not even talking about renting an apartment. We're talking about renting a room. Although recently there's this big hubbub. I don't know if you have it on your island, but this big hubbub about these affordable houses they're building. I was like, yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I mean, they do. I have friends who, get in a lottery, and you have to get in a lottery just to be able to buy one. They're having trouble with your AC installation. Oh no. Oh, thank you. Big hugs, Miss Beck. Love you, girl, and thank you so much again for that beautiful heart you sent to Barb. She texted me earlier today, and she was just so moved. And I said, "Oh, that's awesome." Good night. It's 75 there tonight. Oh, good for you. Affordable starting at mid 400s. I don't even know if you could buy anything mid 400s here on my island, Val. In fact, I don't think you could, honestly. I think like what would be affordable? Well, I can't say that. You could probably get a condo, like a maybe a one bedroom, maybe a 2 bedroom condo for that. I don't know. I haven't looked in a while, so I can't really. Good night, Beck. We love you, girl. Um, yeah, it's not so affordable here. My friend's son he got in one of those affordable lotteries, and he bought a 1 bedroom condominium for 350,000. That was affordable. 350, 1 bedroom. 350. It sounds like a what? Socialistic third world? It kind of is. It's kind of like supply and demand. But the other thing, Riri, is they don't stop anybody, like anybody from a foreign country, they don't stop them from buying places here. So honestly, what happens sometimes is like, say the economy is better or worse in, I don't know, say you get more for your dollar from another country, they don't stop them from buying here. So, people that have bigger incomes can buy, and you don't have to live here year round. Like, I don't know what the year round thing is. I don't know, Laura. I just know that she sent me a message today, and she showed me like a little thing that Aunt Beck had sent her. And, I don't know. I didn't really ask her. I just tried to text her just to see how she's doing. So I'm sure if you send it, she'll get it. But she has sent me, Becky makes these beautiful hearts. I don't know if you guys have seen them. She makes these really beautiful with all kinds of different fabrics and lace. And she sent her one of those. I know that her son just got there, and she said it's been a big help, because, up until now she's been doing it by herself. And when somebody has memory care issues, you don't know whether they're going to try to jump out of the bed or whatever. So I know that she mentioned she got to have a nice bath and that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. Caregiving is so difficult. I have so many more pages to still stick stuff to. So tell me what else you guys are working on. Anybody else working on something like super fun? I've got a bunch of junk journals that you guys. So the one thing this has shown me, I have got to finish the projects that I start. I probably have a good dozen or more projects that I have begun that I did not finish. And I'm not actually including like glue booking in that. I'm talking about like a bunch of junk journals in process. Obviously, I was making for a class or who knows what. I was a big epic fail with the quilt. I cut the pieces and I did not sew them. You guys, I was so over it. I will sew them. Hopefully I'll sew them. Her birthday's in August. I was hoping to sew them so that she'd have a warm blanket, but I just couldn't even get it together. I need some focal point for this too. I need something good. Sorry. So I needed that. The quilt was an epic. I didn't even get, you guys, at least I cut the pieces out. I did put them in a box and mail them to myself. Well, at least I asked Blake to. I don't know when they'll get there though. Anybody else got some UFOs on the horizon that you wish you'd done, but you just didn't get around to? Like, I loved this. This was like some farm page, but I don't even think I have any farm things here. Thank you, Miss Susie. So Blake and I agreed not to get each other anything for Christmas, although I got him some pajamas. I said, please don't give me anything. I don't want anything. I don't want to have to think about moving it. But he needed the pajamas. I got myself a pair of pajamas. But we did get ourselves, and I'm super excited about it, some editing software. So hopefully I'll get back to making videos and I can edit it. You made 4 t-shirt quilts. Ooh, finished the last year. I have one more to do, but I'm burnt out. You need a year of paper. Hey, good for you. You and Denim? Yeah, I have I cut up these jeans. Okay, I told you guys about how I made this tablecloth for my craft fairs when I was doing my jewelry craft fairs. I made this tablecloth out of denim, and I had a friend whose husband was like very large, and I mean very large, like 300 or 400 pounds, and then he lost a bunch of weight. So she gave me a huge, big batch of his pants, and that's what I made this tablecloth out of. And the tablecloth covered 2 8-foot tables, and it was like it was kind of patchworky, you know. So that's the denim that I'm going to cut up and use for her quilt. And when my aunt passed away, I guess maybe it's 2 years now that she's been gone. You guys remember when I flew to see her? She called me and I got on a plane and I went and I was with her until she transitioned. When I was there, my cousin had I like this. I don't know where I'm going to put it. My cousin, somebody had given my cousin do you need me?
I was using this as my bedside table. This might have stuff you were looking for.
Oh, yeah. Put it over here by me.
It seems to have these little folders where you make packs.
Yeah. Okay, we'll just leave it up here next to me.
Something of interest to you.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
That's okay. With the funniest thing, the two of us were like, what were we looking for the other day? And we realized it was in we were like making ourselves crazy, looking all over the house for something. And it was in our makeshift bedside. Since we've gotten rid of our furniture, we have makeshift bedside tables, and it was in a bin that a fan was sitting on. What were we looking for? And we had looked everywhere.
It's those folders. The manila folders.
Oh, the manila folders. It was in our makeshift bedside table. It's it's so ridiculous. Okay, let's see. Riri says you have 5 or 6 journals, glue books, and projects going. You don't have any patience to wait for your stuff to dry. Well, that's a different situation, Riri. Like if you're doing it that way, but some of my projects, you guys, I found I don't even want to tell you. I found some sewing projects that I'd started. Like, I don't know what happened. Either like, probably what happened was I got caught up in something at work, and I just, it's like when I was working, some of the jobs that I've had here have been like they need your full on attention 24/7. Obviously, they don't pay you 24/7 kind of pay, but it's like one of those things. So, I needed that. So that was it. And then some of them were like, I don't know. You have at least, so, it's like one of those things. It's silly. It's so silly. So I found like sewing projects. I found definitely some paper crafting projects. That goes without saying. But yes, I have bought things for a specific project and forgotten what they're for. I've totally done that too. Absolutely, positively. Positively, every time. That I've done too. But see, you know what? If the pandemic hadn't happened the way it did, look, I'm grateful because I can let go of some of the things that I love. I mean, granted, I love them, but I can let it go in a way that is meaningful to me as opposed to just, it was meaningful when I would teach class and people would come and take I would tell people, bring your suitcase, like bring an empty suitcase, because some of the things that I had collected would be stuff that say we're making a glue book. And I don't know, you guys at some point, you guys only saw the handful of stuff I had. I probably had a good, look at those penguins. Isn't that cool? I probably had a good 500 magazines. You guys only saw the handful of, kind of unique things I thought were unique to what I had collected. Those Australian Geographics and the Chinese magazine, cooking magazine, but you didn't see like the hundreds of different types. I would find every possible odd magazine, hiking magazines, New Yorker magazines, all kinds of fashion magazines. I had tons of it, because if somebody's going to sit down and make a glue book, you want them to have, I like this, you want them to have as much of you want them to have supplies, right? So, but I had tons of stuff like that, like tons that I never showed you guys that I just, I donated some to a school. Not all schools are back in session here 100%. So I donated some to like an art school. I donated gallons of glue. I can't eat gallons of wet glue. Gallons and gallons of wet glue. I had 2 enormous glass kilns. Actually, I had 3 kilns, 2 glass ones, and one for jewelry, like a trinket kiln, and then 2 big glass fusing kilns. I donated 2 of those. I sold 1 and donated 2. I have all kinds of stuff. It's ridiculous. I haven't seen the quilt patterns on the barns. So I only decided I would make my daughter. So I do have some old quilts that were my grandmother's. I have some that I think I have one that was my great grandmother made. And then I had some that my grandmother made, and realized my dad was in his 40s when he had me, and he had my grandmother. My grandmother had him when she was, I don't even think she was 20, and she died when she was in her 90s. So I have some really old ones. Some of the fabric is like super old and worn and falling apart because that's just how it happens. It doesn't last forever. I have one that my mother's grandmother made her, and they're not in, I still use them. They're not in pristine shape by any means. So I love it. So, my idea was to make her this jean quilt out of like these jeans, and then put in I had two thoughts. Just make her a rag quilt, which is like kind of heavy, and just put fleece flannel on one side and jeans, because a jean quilt is heavy. I made my ex-husband one with his father's work clothes, and I did the fabric transfer thing that I do on the paper. I did that on some of the panels of pictures of him with his dad when he was little. And a jean quilt is very heavy. Very, very heavy. So I thought that'd be good for her. And so I just didn't get around to do it. So you bet I will once I come to the States. I was just going to make her a simple jean quilt. I have saved some t-shirts though, Trish, and I have often thought about making her a t-shirt quilt too. But I was going to do the jean thing because I thought it was I thought it would be heavy for her, heavy duty, and she'd be able to like be warm. Guys, I'm mindless today. I've got so much stuff I have to do, and I'm gluing. Well, I can't wait to get there and see. You know what makes me excited, Dana, is we were on the Big Island the other day, and it's called the Big Island for a reason, and obviously it's still ever growing because it's got a live volcano on it. But we were just driving, and you can't really do that here on this island. I mean, you can drive, but there's not really a lot of places to go, so we can't really. We were just driving, and it was super cool. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot, just the driving. I enjoyed it a lot. So I'm looking forward to that. And I think Blake's looking forward to taking a couple road trips. He's got two sons, and they live in the Oregon area, and I think that, he's looking forward to that. He's looking forward to going to take a road trip and see them. I mean, they come here and everything too, but it's not quite the same. Drive in circles. Yes, you do drive in circles here, Val. You're absolutely right. Oh, please post them. I want to see them. You did them in sections. What's so funny is I found, so in the midst of all my stuff, okay, so for those of you that don't know, there is a pretty large homeless population in Hawaii. I don't know about the Oahu, but here on Maui there is. And I used to see this guy all the time, and I've stopped and I've tried to. I was pulled up one day, and I was taking my daughter to somewhere, and she wanted something from like Jack in the Box or whatever. And we have a Jack in the Box. Believe it or not, we don't have a lot of things, but we have a Jack in the Box. So I was taking her to the Jack in the Box because that's what she wanted. And he walked by, and his clothes were like practically see-through. Like they were so worn. So it upset me so bad that as soon as I got out of the Jack in the Box parking lot, I went and found him, right? And this is during the pandemic, right? So I said to him, "Uncle, please let me buy you some clothes." And he was like, no, I'm fine. This is I don't know, it's my exercise clothes or something like that. And I was like, okay. I said, please let me buy you some clothes. You guys, his pants were they looked like a proper pair of dress pants that were so worn. You could see through them. And you could see where he had been sewing them together. So I tried, and he wouldn't go into TJ Maxx, or we actually have a TJ Maxx, not a TJ Maxx, a across the street. I said, please, Uncle, please come over there with me and let me buy you some clothes. And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't take anything. Finally, I gave him $5. He let me give him $5 and a mask. And he had a mask. And it just made me upset. And ask him his name. He said his name is Ryan. And you guys, he's probably maybe in his 80s. I don't know. Anyway, so I've been talking to Blake. This happened a couple of years ago, right? But every time I see him, I always try to offer to buy him. I try to give him $5 or wherever, give him whatever he'll take. $5 is usually the only thing he'll take. But and most of the time he won't take that. So Blake and I have been talking about it because it just upsets me. I don't know. We were driving around the other day, getting boxes and taking stuff to thrift store and taking stuff to the to mail out. And Blake said, and I said, I haven't seen him in a while. And he goes, I saw him. So we had this game plan that, you posted a quilt thing? Oh, good. You have lots of homeless there too. So we made this game plan. I said, well, Blake's like, what if we fill a backpack with like granola bars, maybe some spare change? And he goes, and what if you put in the backpack a couple t-shirts, a pair of pants or 2 pairs of pants, some underwear, some socks, and maybe a pair of flip-flops, which we call slippers here. And you guys, he's so thin, at the most he would wear a boy's large, like a young boy's large, like a 12-year-old boy's clothes. And so I said, well, I haven't seen him since. And I've tried to buy him clothes numerous times. Tried to buy him food, whatever. Blake came home yesterday and he goes, I saw him. And I was like, where? And so it was like, so in the midst of all this, so my youngest daughter, she's 15, she had a huge growth spurt over last year to this year. She used to be like, I would say like a boy size 12, and now she's like a woman's size 5 or 7 or something like that. So I said to Blake, did we give away so for a while here, they weren't taking any donations for anything because of the pandemic. Everything was shut down. So I said, do we still have those clothes? Like, you guys, I don't know, I'm like, sometimes we just give them away and then that's it. Right. I said, do we still have those clothes? He's like, I don't know. So when he's going through the garage this morning, he finds like a bag of clothes that we had earmarked for the thrift store that he obviously last year or whatever, that they weren't taking anything. So I went through them all and I found like pairs of sweatpants, that are that size. They're like gray and like gender neutral. Right. And I went through it. She went through a phase. I don't know if you ever have teenage kids that go through a phase of this, where she wanted to wear men's boxer shorts. I had all these little men's boxer shorts. I had all this weird sort of stuff that I don't, it's fine. Anyway, so I made a whole, I'm washing them right now. My point in saying it is I'm washing them right now. I found a backpack with all the stuff we have, and I'm washing the underwear and the sweatpants, and I found some t-shirts. And then I said to Blake, let's go buy him a pair of brand new pants, but let's wash them. Boy's size 12. I think those will fit him. You guys, if he weighs 100 pounds, that's a lot. And he's tiny. And I said, let's find some socks. And I'm going to guess his shoe size. But if I buy the slippers that don't have the toe thing in the middle, that have the, just have the, like the flip-flops where you just put your foot in and it has like a strap over the top. I don't know what those are called. They always have like some brand name on it, like whatever. I can't think of it, and some socks. So in the midst of all my stuff, that's where my attention's been. In the midst of all my stuff, my attention has been about worrying about this homeless guy. It just upsets me. I'm sure it slides. Yeah, like that. Yeah. Wipes and toiletries, yes, and socks, and anyway. So that's what I'm in the midst of all my stuff. Okay. In the midst of all my stuff, I'm focused on That too. Okay. I'm focused on the poor guy that I'm focused on that. Not like I don't have enough going on in my life, but hey, why not? Like why not? So, guys, I'm like the worst. I'm like, I'll dream about people. It'll just be super upsetting for me. And I have my own stuff like that. And thank goodness Blake is like so good with me. He doesn't even like, he just goes with it. Like he doesn't judge me. He doesn't say, oh, why would, he's just like, okay. You have a man, Mr. Greg, that I help. He's so sweet, and I don't see him. Where is you? I know, right, Dana? I know, like, right? It like, so my oldest daughter, she had someone like that here, and he told her his name was Jesus, and she met him one day when we were coming. We had been, it was somebody's birthday, and we used to try to frequent this one place. I don't even know if it's still open. We used to try to frequent this one place because it was totally locally owned, and tourists never went there. And when the pandemic happened, I'm sure that they suffered a lot. I haven't been there in a while, so I don't know the extent of whether they're there or not. But we used to try to, that would be our go-to place where we were going to, I like this ocean picture, where we were going to spend our money to make our dollar count right here. A really small business. So, she met him outside. She met this guy outside of the restaurant that when waiting on all of us or something. And he said his name was Jesus. And he was amazingly beautiful. He was probably, I'm guessing, mid to late 70s. And he was from somewhere that I'd never heard of. Like an Indian place in Indonesia or something like that. I looked it up later that I'd never heard of. And for whatever reason, my oldest daughter, she was very like, she talked to him for a long time. And then we came home and she wanted to make him sandwiches or whatever. And she made me, we had blankets and a pillow together and all this stuff. And we went back out and she gave it to him. And do you guys want to know something? We never saw him again, but for 3 days. So we came back out and we gave him a blanket and a pillow and like some sort of food. I don't even remember like what she fixed him. And then she was doing this movie shoot and she was like, Mom, can you please go check on him? And you guys, we went back to the place where right across from the restaurant, the pillow and the blanket were neatly folded right where they were sitting. And they were there for like 3 days. And we never saw him again. It's like he evaporated into the universe. You want to make a barn quilt too? Well, it's all good. I know it's kind of hard, right? When they won't. It's kind of hard when they don't let you help. When you don't let them help. When they won't let you help them. But we don't know what took them to get there. Jamie, I've had that experience too, where we're like, and clearly there's some people that are, that are on the streets by choice. I don't think this old guy's on drugs because he won't take anything. He's a tiny, frail man. I don't think he's on anything. I think he's just old and, he can carry on a really intelligent conversation with you. He just I don't know what took him to get to the streets. I don't know. I don't know anything. I just know that I can't help everybody, but I try, and it makes. You're sad now? Oh, don't be sad. You know what, Laura? It's the fact that in the midst of everything that we have, there's always somebody who has less and somebody who has more. And when you can give, you give. And you're very generous. I don't know. You shouldn't feel sad. I mean, I feel sad for the man. I mean, I've been looking for him, but also too, like even though we do have that here, we do have at least here we have an agency that you can call and say, I've seen somebody on the street corner, da 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 da, and they'll come out and they'll help. Like they'll try to help if the people will accept help. Good night, Barb. Sleep well. Oh, thanks, Barb. Man, I'm sure he feels that we care. But I'm just saying that's how ridiculous I am. I'm like, instead of me like dealing with what I need to do, I'm like washing all these clothes, going through bags of stuff, going to the thrift store to find something so I can wash it and take it, put it in a backpack. So like Blake's going to be the one in charge of doing the backpack because I've been the one that's been trying to give him for a while. Maybe he'll take something from a man. I don't know. We love you, Barb. Big hugs, girl. Guys, I love, I don't know why, but I love Bizarre magazines. Do you guys like this one, Bizarre? I've had it, I've been getting it for a while. These I don't think are new issues. What issues are these? I don't know what issue this is. I don't know, but these are not new ones, but I've kept a few for myself. Yeah, maybe he did leave it folded for the next person. You know what? I don't know. I don't know at all. Maybe his family found him. I mean, I don't know. All you can do is hope, right? All you can do is hope. I used to live in New York City, and they have a huge homeless population there, or did. I don't know. I haven't been back in a long time. And it used to get me down. You like the size of the Bizarre magazine? I do too. And back when we were doing our power pack, with all the images of the ladies or whatever, I liked that too. I found a lot of really good images of diverse women. I like Ideals magazine too. I have some of those. Malia has a lot of them in her shop. If you guys go over to her shop, she has a lot of them. She has a lot of them. I haven't gotten any magazines in a while. These are old ones. I used to do Recycle Bank, which I still do. I love it, but I haven't done it in a while. And I like Wine Spectator. I love Wine Spectator. That is like a great magazine to jelly print on because the pages are so big. Malia says she's just, what did you say? You have 50 of them? You're running low on yours? I got some from you. I love them. I love them. So I don't know what I want to tear up. Part of me feels guilty tearing up pages when I know I'm like, just want one image and it's probably in the middle of somebody's article. So if I decide to do my little last minute let go, it'll be either I'll probably be more like tomorrow. I probably will do it tomorrow. I have, oh gosh, what do I have? I have some more Australian Geographics, which I love. I've kept some for myself. I have some fabric that I have to let go of, and I have some like these junk journal kits. Like they're like, what did you call them, Malia? We didn't. It's really like a not a surprise bag. What do you call it? You're covering your ears. I'll be so spoiled when I get there. So many choices. Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm super excited about that. What did you call it? You called it like not a surprise, a grab bag, mystery box. Yes, I have that. I have like five. I think I have made five um, medium flat rate boxes, and I think I have I don't know 10 or 12 envelopes. And it's filled these stash boxes, and it's filled with all kinds of stuff, you guys. It's like paper, and it's just every kind of thing that you could make a really cool junk journal of them, or put in your glue book or whatever. Like really cool, like mystery boxes. Yeah, that's what I have. And I have 6 or 7 wallpaper books left. Mystery box works. Yeah, mystery box. Yep. But I did find, you guys, I found like a big bin, and I did send some to myself, but at some point after $15,000 in, I said to Blake, I can let some of it go. I don't, $15,000 meaning like that's what it's costing us to move. I found some just little fat quarters of fabrics and remnants from, I told you, that mercantile store that was here that is no longer here. Some really cool Hawaiian prints. And then some other like florals and stuff that I've had, and I don't know, just weird stuff like that. You're calling yours a stash building box. That's a good way to call it. That's a good thing to call it. A stash building box is good. I have to promise myself, you guys, once I get there that I'm not gonna. Blake's package has been rerouted. Why has it been rerouted, Trish? Rerouted why? Because it was too heavy to deliver? I'll have to check on it. What did it say? I had no idea about that. Oh, I love this. Do you guys love that? It's supposed to be like a wreath made from flowers and brooches and the movers have all your stuff and you haven't gotten your final amount yet. Oh, girl. I just have to promise myself I'm going to take my time before I jump in and get myself all like. It's been so ridiculously emotional letting go of all my stuff. It's like dumb, yeah. It's like really dumb that it's so emotional. I mean, it's just stuff, but it has been. Trish, I'll check on it. I mean, what did it say? I'll have to. I don't know how he sent your box. Does it say? I don't know. I'll ask him. I will ask him. I don't know. It's also coming from Hawaii and stuff. Sometimes they just do stupid stuff. Um, Let me see if I can get him. Let me see. I don't know where he is, and I'm going to ask him to check under the while I've got you here. I'm going to say, hey. He's in the front, you guys. He's like, so yesterday we had somebody come. So when we moved into this house in March, because we thought we were taking care of his dad and having his dad here. Blake bought me new appliances. He bought me a new stove, a new fridge, because there was no fridge here, and he bought me a brand new washer and dryer. So the stove we never hooked up because it needed, the houses are old here, and it needed some sort of like new electrical thing for this new stove, and we just never got around to it. So we didn't put it in there. I like this picture. So we just didn't do it. And so the stove, and the same guy that bought the stove called us today and said, I want the fridge and I want the washer and dryer. So I said to him, could you please refrain from selling the washer and dryer until after I've done all of the laundry that I They sent you a notification. What? They rerouted it to where? That's just weird. To a different address? I mean, that is just so weird. That is so weird. I don't know. He's been, when he goes to UPS, the guys kind of run away from him now. Because the boxes are so heavy, I think. Hey, are you by your computer? Do me a favor, will you check on Trisha's package? She just said that they rerouted it. Can you see what? Yeah, can you look? Could you check on it? I can't check. And then come back and tell me, okay? Because I'm still doing my chatting and crafting. Just look her up. Bye. He said he'll check on it. He's like, he's you guys, the house, the one good thing about this house is you can hear the neighbors, but you can't hear each other. So I could be yelling for him and he would never hear me all the way back here. Giorgio Armani is 87. Wow. That's crazy. I think you can look it up though, Trish. I think you can look it up and see what's going on. Yeah, but yeah, forward it to me. I hate to tear this magazine up. There was a bunch of other stuff in here I loved, but I just hate to tear it up because I can give it, you know what I mean? Somebody could have it, but it did have a couple cool things. I hate to tear it up because it's tearing up somebody's possible read. Tear up the articles part. You know what I mean? But yeah. So anyway, that's what's going on with me, girls. That is what is going on with me. I have some. I'm almost done, but we'll see. I'm gonna have to go and look and see what I have still up in the front. I mean, I went through a ton of it yesterday, and I let go of a lot. I was really proud of myself. I didn't even look at it, but some of the things are kind of too nice to let go of like that, you know. Because one of you guys would appreciate them. So did anybody else get any good fun things for Christmas? I'm excited for my video editing software. I'm super excited. That is going to make me so excited. Because I have to tell you, it has been a pain in the butt I have had definite pain in the butt time dealing with what I have. You sent rescheduled. You know what? They did that during Christmas. You know, my sister-in-law, you know what? I did get a really good Christmas present, you guys. Of course, my kids all made me cards and that sort of stuff. I love that. But my ex-sister-in-law sent me a bowl that my oldest daughter painted her when my oldest daughter was 3 at one of those paint your pot places. I just remember that year really clearly because we gave everybody, we gave everyone that sort of thing for Christmas. I mean, I didn't remember what the paint your pot thing looked like, but she sent it to me, you guys, and that made me like so happy. She sent me that piece. You wouldn't make it through the move for sure. Oh my gosh, our garage is fairly cleaned out. That part is not the bad part. The bad part is still my crafting stuff, you guys. I've gotten rid of a ton of it, but it's like I have like some hangovers from it. Like I have like 7 wallpaper books. I have I promised him I wouldn't sell any more books though, besides the wallpaper books. because or just sell like a couple of those. I still have a handful, not very many of those. Oh my gosh. What are those novels, you guys? My head can't think of it. Those Waverly novels from the 1800s. Those are so cool. I'm going to definitely do a project with one when I get back. I saved some for myself, at least one. I might have saved 2. It would be good if I saved 2, but who knows? One of the Life magazines was your dad's birthday. Oh, that's so great. You know what, Trish? I just tried to go through them all and just say, I had actually a lot more from the 40s than I had in the other years. Well, you have to realize I had a ton of stuff, and I've used it for the classes, so I didn't really know what was left, you know, because I've had it, and we use it for collage material. It makes beautiful, you guys. They're definitely worth like cutting them up and putting them in your glue books and stuff. They're so beautiful that way. But they were just too good to like let go of. It's really hard getting in here. Yes, Brian. It is way harder to smoke once you paint your pot. Oh my God. Oh my God. Brian. So, I mean, I never knew what I have left. So, like, I'm surprised that I had any of those Waverly novels left because those were out. But you know what? I did have some other Victorian style books out that had more colorful covers or something. But those Waverly novels are so cool. They are super cool. I'm gonna definitely make some sort of a junk journal or something or a journal out of it. Create a toxic situation to paint your pot. You've never made a glue book? Oh, Dana. They're so fun because it doesn't matter. And you're only doing it for you and you're not doing it for like some end result. You know, do you know how many times I've glued my way through like whatever with this little book? And I've collected images from all kinds of things. And I have many different types of books. Magazine journals are my favorite, like as far as like, folding them up, making an art journal out of that. I love that. I like all of it. It's like that's my problem. If I didn't like it, then I guess it wouldn't be a problem. If I didn't have I love this. More abstract, the better. More better. More better. More better. So what else do I have? Let's see. I guess it's those things that are like sort of unique to the collecting here or the unique to how I got them. Dana, you've got to make a glue book, girl. You've got to make a glue book. You have to. They're like, I mean, and if you like get like sort of like, I don't know how to start, just, just some people like to glue like things together. Just do it your way. I like it because it's like for no reason. You don't have to have a reason for it. You don't need an end result. And I find it easier to do it in an already bound book. But like if you go watch Carla Cage Fish's channel, she does hers she takes plain paper and then she makes her glue book like that. Like she takes plain paper and she sews all the signatures together. Whereas I, on the other hand, just like making it. I mean, I've done it that way, but I like making it. You scrapbook a lot. I like to. You know what? My version of scrapbooking is probably not like everybody else's version of scrapbooking. But I do like scrapbooks. So, guys are so funny. Hey, Leslie, how are you, girl? How are you? Like, I think these came from a travel brochure that was doing a Botero, because that's a Botero painting. This, I don't know where it came from. This, I think, was from a shipping magazine. It looks like it's a compass of the man. It's like a captain on a ship. This was all about New York. I don't know. This probably came from a Restoration Hardware. You know me and my chairs. If you were still scrapping, you wouldn't do it. What did you say, Mobetta? Pow and decline. Pow is a good word. Mobetta. Decline is a good word too. You're playing with your Shelley journal. Oh, you got it already? You got it already, Leslie? That was fast. Girls, I meant to write a note neat to each and every one of you. I couldn't muster it. I'm sorry. You know what else? The packing department was faster than I was. Okay. He was he was so fast at packing things that he would already have it like sealed up, and finally I just gave up.
So for Trisha, she got a delivery on Christmas Eve, which was the large probably game board box.
Did you get one on Christmas Eve, the large game board box? And then what's the one?
She got one yesterday, a medium flat rate box.
And then he said you should have gotten one yesterday, a medium flat rate box.
And those said that they were on your porch or put on your porch.
They said they were put on your porch,
now,
Trish.
There's a third package. It's a UPS delivery is scheduled to arrive January 4th.
Okay, he says the UPS delivery is scheduled to arrive January 4th, and that'll be your wallpaper book.
It shows it was scanned in Ontario, California, and it's on its way. I mean, so it's gotten off it's in California now.
Okay, Trish, there you have it.
So it's making its way, and it could possibly get there before the 4th.
Leslie got her big box yesterday. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I mean.
That was fast. You guys, nothing ever goes that fast from Hawaii. I don't know. Leslie, that is a definite one-of-a-kind journal. I have not made them. I mean, I used it for teaching, so it was it. Oh, no. Sherry said hers went through Ontario, too.
Mm-hmm.
So, Trisha, he says it looks...
But,
Ontario, California.
Ontario, California.
Trish, says that it looks like it'll be delivered January 4th. That's from UPS. Because you guys, we found it was like much cheaper to ship all those wallpaper books UPS than it was. I don't know. The post office says supposedly they're gonna take down their prices, but I'll believe it when I see it. You gave all your goodies. Oh, Leslie, I love that journal too, and I'm glad you like it too. It definitely has my all my ridiculousness all in one place. Yours will be here tomorrow, which is fast. Girls, I don't know what is up with the mail. I'm grateful that it's going fast from here, but yeah. So if any of you guys want a mystery box, you can let me know. I only have 4, I think. 4 medium flat rate boxes, I think. Maybe 5. I don't know. They're in the other room. And I have about 10 of the envelopes, the flat rate envelopes. And they're just filled. You guys are filled with my ridiculousness. You will get my complete and utter ridiculousness. And the flat rate envelope is $20 shipped, and the flat rate medium box is $35 shipped. So I have those mystery boxes, or as what did you call them, Malia? What did you call them? Stashing boxes. What? I can't remember. They've got all kinds of cool stuff in it, and they're all different. None of them are the same. They're all completely different. Because, guys, what happened was I was like putting them together, and I started putting them together a while ago. It wasn't like I just started it, and then I just got overwhelmed, and I just said, I can't do this. Malia, they're all different. They're all different. They have like all kinds of every kind of paper thing you can think of, like from like foreign language, but not all of them have it though. From foreign language, some of them have foreign language book pages, old book pages, painty papers. Basically what I did, I took what I would use for class, like what my example of things, and all the stuff that I would use, and all that stuff used to be in a box, like actually a couple of bins, and I just stuffed them. I just stuffed the envelopes with whatever it was. I mean, it's just filled with my random stuff. A D-stash box. Well, it's more like grabbing a stash. Like if you wanted to sit and glue book with me, it'd be more like grabbing my stash of things. I don't know. I could show you one, but the other ones aren't going to be like it. They're all different. Like it was like me packaging up all my randomness. I mean, some of them have postcards in it. Some of them have books in it. Some of them have magazine bits and pieces. Some of them have, it's just like all the stuff that I use every day. You had an allergic reaction from the dentist? Oh my gosh. Oh, Trish, that's horrible. Yes, Shippo, yes, you can use Shippo with UPS. Yes, you can. That's the only, he didn't use Shippo for whatever was less expensive is what he did, but we shipped yes, that's exactly what they're called. Fukubukuro boxes, yes. You guys, they just have a crazy de-stash of all my stuff. It's like, let me see. I don't know. I can show you one tomorrow, but that's just it. They're all not going to be the same. So, oh, Trish. So all of this was an allergic reaction to what you got from the dentist. Oh my God, girl. Malia, some of them have wallpaper pieces in them. Some of them have, some of them have coffee dyed papers, because I found like a huge amount of coffee dyed paper that I'd made myself that, for to do in class, and I didn't take that. Some of them have, I don't know. It just has bits and pieces of everything possible you can imagine. Stuff to make a junk journal is all I'm going to say. And then that way you can interpret it whatever way you want. Stuff to make a junk journal or a glue book. Some of them have book covers in them. Some of them have whole books in them. Some of them have, I don't know, maybe between now and tomorrow. So just the flat rate media envelope is $20 shipped, because I think it's like $8.50 or $9 to ship the envelope. So it's like $11 worth of scrap junk journaling stuff. And then I have, I think there's 4, maybe 5. I don't know. I might have already sent out one. Flat rate medium boxes. Your Chewy box came. Do you want one, Leslie? Okay. Do you want a box, or do you want the bag? Do you want here? Let me write it down. You guys, I'm so ridiculous. I mean, I got to find a piece of paper. How do I come to this desk and not have a writing piece of paper? Okay. I have magazines. I have glue. You guys, I gave so much glue to the school. The lady goes, the art teacher, and it's not even the school my daughter went to. It's just a different school. And the art teacher goes, because I bought glue in like gallons, like the Elmer's Extreme, the wet glue. I bought it like the PVA glue. I bought it in gallons of glue, because if you think about it, 100 people in a room, how much glue do you think you can go through? Hang on, I gotta get a pen. Hunter said he got his thing. Hunter said he activated his gift card today. Mm.
You want to draw broth and butter? Do you want to play with
I'm still online. Broth and butter would be awesome. I would love it.
This is her spaghetti sauce. She didn't. She ate all.
Is it good? Is it still good?
It's from when we made it. That's all. Probably okay. Why, you want us to bring it to the airport or something?
Maybe, because I have a feeling we're gonna have to check her out, like pick her up, and then we won't be able to check in until like 10 o'clock.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could freeze it. So what are you writing? You're writing that you could have you had an allergic reaction 6 weeks after it? That is crazy. They tell you can have a reaction 2 weeks after, but you had it 6 weeks. That is insane. Like, it makes you just wonder, like, what is in it? Wow, that is crazy. Where the roosters were making noise. Sorry, you guys. Blake decided to clean out the refrigerator back here.
I'm sorry.
Sherry wants the tea-dyed paper and Leslie wants a box, non-envelope. Okay. So Sherry, you want one that has dyed paper in it? Okay. You want the envelope with if they have one. You know what? I'll have to look and see what's in them. Okay. I'm gonna see. It has other stuff besides tea-dyed paper. I can't tell you. And then you want a box. Okay. You know what I may do, you guys? What I'll do is I'm going to make a listing in Etsy and I'll send you the link for the Etsy thing and then you guys can pay that way. I've had more problems with PayPal lately, which I'd never had before, but who knows? Maybe it's because of their fraud thing. But, I'll make you a listing and I'll send you an email, okay? Because I still have your email, Sherry. I think I do. If not, you guys email me at Crafting Mama's info, and then I'll just send you the Etsy listing from there. It's just somebody wrote me last week and said or 2 weeks ago said they had a hard time with PayPal, and then somebody else, and I don't know what all the ins and outs. PayPal decides to do whatever it does. Sherry, is it only tea dyed, or do you want something that has coffee dyed too? Because there's a mix. I just don't know. I don't know how I packaged it. You guys, I packaged it kind of like thinking that I would mail it to myself. Not that I would mail it to myself, but kind of having that thought like, okay, if I'm going to mail it to myself, and I promised myself I'm not going to do it to myself again. And I'm going to try to keep that promise, but I will. That's just how it rolls sometimes. It's how it rolls. Have any of you guys had problems with PayPal? I just, I don't use them enough. I mean, I buy things with PayPal and I pay things with PayPal, but I don't use them enough to have the things that people would tell me they were having. And I was like, okay, because it's not something I use enough. Either or both. Okay, I'll see what I have. It'll have a bunch of other stuff in it because it's not just paper. It's like, you guys, it's all kinds of stuff. It's all kinds of stuff to make a journal from. You've used PayPal, but see, using PayPal and using it for a way to Usually I buy things all the time on PayPal. I don't necessarily sell anything on PayPal. And so I just used it because I've used PayPal invoices before and I liked it that better. But with people complaining about different things that happened, I was just like, all right, I'll just figure something else out. And then I was talking to somebody else that was that sells a lot of stuff. Like she uses has been selling her stuff for a long time, and she was telling me that's why she switched over to using Etsy more. She said because then however you want to pay, you can. Like, I guess I didn't understand this, but I guess if you want to pay with more than one credit card, you have to enable that before somebody pays. Like, I didn't know that because you guys, I'm not up on it, and so you have to enable that before somebody pays. And if you don't, then they have to pay with one. So I guess when you can say something like can pay with more than one card, or I don't know. Somebody walked me through it and I enabled her invoice to be paid like that. We're on Etsy. You can use multiple cards and you don't have to do that. Does that make sense? Does that make Etsy does have bigger fees, but if you can just like, if somebody's able to like, if it's easier for the shopper, then it's fine with me. Does that make sense? So I will definitely do my whatever I have left sale tomorrow. I'll try to do it. I don't know what time, you guys. It'll just be dependent upon how much stuff. Blake is now, and I went in the other room to get a pen. He's now cleaning out our pantry. And he's making a box for the food pantry, but I don't even know with COVID if they take that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know, Dana. I'm just trying to think of like, it was like, I don't know. Malia, are you still here? Do you have that issue too? Or you just use Etsy? You don't use, you haven't done PayPal invoices. I'm excited though. I'm excited to get to North Carolina. I'm excited to go thrifting in Las Vegas. My sister doesn't really like to go thrift store shopping, so I guess I might have to do it by myself. Or maybe she'll go with me. Maybe she'll go with me just to spend some time with me. Yeah, I used to, whenever I have to take an antibiotic, I definitely take acidophilus pills. But there's a probiotic that I got that you have to refrigerate that works really good. It's a pill. I'll have to look it up. I probably still have some in my fridge, but it works really good. So Trish, all this hives and stuff was an allergic reaction to medication? Yeah, it is kind of a pain in the butt to transfer stuff to Floristar. Is that what it is, Sherry? I know that I've taken it. So do you know what though? It's like, so for me, I used to do a lot of stuff. I used to have so that's what it was. Thank God it wasn't something worse. But I mean, it's bad enough. I guess you better know all the meds you're allergic to. So if you end up in the hospital, I mean, anyway, that's crazy. You itched your skin off when you had it. Guys, I definitely have like medication reactions, so it's like, yeah. You know what's funny is that I didn't use the shipping thing through PayPal because I already have a pirate ship thing, and it was kind of a pain in the butt to do that. You know what? I wasn't thinking. Had I been thinking, I would have just put it all through Etsy and not done. I would have just like put private listing for so and so, right? You've taken it before? Oh my gosh. Well, all I know about like things that you're kind of allergic to, it seems like when you take it a second time, it gets worse, right? Thank you for the thumbs up for those that have given me a thumbs up. I know that I saved a bunch of numbers. I just don't know where they are. Oh, wow. Because I try to take very little of anything, unless I absolutely have to. Leslie, how's your husband? This came from a boat magazine, which I really liked. And this is what I mean about the weirder things. This came from, I don't know, this is a famous painting. It might have come from, somebody must have sent this to me in Happy Mail. Yeah. The 91-year-old grandmother's, yeah, that she's visiting. She lives alone. Oh, jelly printing? Yes, I love jelly printing. I'm addicted to jelly printing. How many of you guys are addicted to jelly printing? Jelly printing is like, that's the freaking bomb. I love jelly printing. In fact, I think I saved one of my tiny jelly plates somewhere because I saw it the other day. I was like, oh, I got to remember not to put it because I packed a bunch of my stuff. I did mail myself stuff, but not enough, I guess, or I could have mailed more. He's doing better and eating. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome, Leslie. Right, Sherry? I love jelly printing. Jelly printing is like an addiction for me. It's like I love it. I love it. I love it. I love I love jelly printing. I love jelly printing. I love jelly printing. I love it, love it, love it. I have a thing for it. I can't get over it. I have a thing for it. I love it. What I will have coming, and I will put them in my shop, but because I mailed them to myself because I worked too hard on them, is some of my treasure books. Because I gave away some to, I gave like some to a couple of my creative friends here. I gave a couple there, and then because they take me so long to make, I made a bunch, or had a bunch in process. It was a class that I did when people would come take a class. I did it. It was just like a way for you to save your. I did it for them more like a way to save memories here, but you could do it for anything. And because how many times do you ever go on a vacation or something and you go, oh, like I don't know, if you're like us and you're into like scrappy stuff, you're like, oh, I would love that. I would love that. I would put that in my whatever. So I made it. That's how I started with making the treasure books. But I gave a couple to some friends here, and I filled them with all kinds of like stuff and memorabilia that were ephemera that meant something to me. And then, so I'm going to have some of that when I eventually get to North Carolina, because I did make a bunch and send them to myself. Well, they were in process, and I told you guys I found like how many things that I find that I was in process of. Too many, but I'm going to send myself that. So I'll put some of those in my shop eventually. It is rough, Leslie. I went through it with my mom, and it is a lot. You can start at 8 a.m. and the next thing is 10 p.m. with jelly printing. Totally true. Well, maybe when I get to North Carolina, I'll do we'll do collector stuff and make a junk journal together, and we can do it we can decide like what day of the week or whatever, and do it how many ever days a week until we're done. You know, I also love making art journals with these. You guys get yourself some of these kids' boards books. I don't have any gesso, or I would have gessoed this today, because you need to gesso them after you pull the paper off. But these are great. These are so good to make, because there's not that many pages to it. So you can basically do an art journal, and you could do a page every day and probably be done with one in a week, because some of them are 7 or 8 pages. Like, here's one I still have out, and I didn't gesso this. You can see where I just pulled the pages off, but I just started, and it was just, these are jelly prints. Some of them are just a stream of consciousness, just things that I was doing and going through. But I love this. This one can use another piece. I love it. Just gives you something super sturdy to work on, a surface to work on. So I'm just saying, you guys should. These are super fun too. These are like really fun. Dollar Tree has board books. You have tons of board books. I take them all apart. You guys, I gave up some. I actually sent some back that I hadn't taken apart. I sent some back to the to the world of recycling as we know it. I sent some back. I didn't keep it all. What's cool is that none of us keep the same things. And so when you get like a random supply box from someone like me, you're going to get the more random, eclectic, whatever my... Well, sure, we'll see where that goes. I mean, I used to do it here all the time. I've done a few for Defy online. But I can certainly set up something where we could all do it. It would be super fun to just hang out and do it together, whatever way we did them. Remember I told you guys about that Martha Stewart paint? Okay, this is the silver of that. There's a gold one, and if you guys, I don't think they make it anymore, but this is amazing on a jelly plate. It's called Martha Stewart. Oh my gosh, you guys, this one's called Pewter. And my thing is kind of, but it makes a very clear sort of metallic sheen. And when you want to do like a final pull, this, it's amazing. And it comes in gold. This one's pewter, and then they have it in silver. And it's Martha Stewart Crafts Indoor Outdoor Home Decor Metallic Finish Paint. I have it in gold, I have it in silver, and I have it in this pewter. I think there's 2 or 3 colors of 2 or 3 colors that are in gold. I just don't know what I do with my gold ones. Girls, thank you for the encouragement. I will definitely put together a class. I would love to hang out with you guys more often. And I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Like, I guess I was offered a really good job in North Carolina, but part of me is like reticent to jump into that because it's probably more like a 60-hour a week job. You know how those jobs are? They go, oh no. And then you get there and it's like a 60 or 70-hour a week job. And Blake and I have been talking about it for a while. And he's just like, I don't think that would be the best for your mental health at this moment. so, so I'm kind of thinking maybe not. Maybe I won't do that 60 or 70-hour a week job. You know, some of us have a hard time just working in 40 hours a week, if you know what I mean. Some of us are like put in the extra mile and work a lot more. Well, this one definitely, I mean, I definitely did a lot more pages in this. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you. Thank you very much.
There you go. I can sip it so it still might be hot.
It's still too hot?
I don't know. I mean, I made it sip it. I don't think it's that hot.
Okay, I'll try it.
Maybe I stalled it all in there.
Well, I'll put something together, girls, and I'll figure it out.
Okay.
So I did when they would come here, we'd do a glue booking class, you know, just talk about just the freedom and different types of glue booking. Some people want to do it in a composition notebook. Some people can't deal with defacing a book. But I said, well, if you get one that's going to be thrown away, you're giving it a new life, you know. And then your hubby's a workaholic. It's not that I'm a workaholic, Dana. It's just that I always end up with these jobs that are, I don't know. You know how some people are it just works like that. It's like I always end up with a job that is really a job that put it this way, the last job that I had, they had to hire 3 people to do my job. Okay. So, it's like that. So we've also been talking about homeschooling our daughter. We've been talking about, you know, just a couple of things like that. 20% of the people do 80% of the work. That is so true. So when people came here, we did glue booking, art journaling. I made junk journals with them. I also did scrapbooking because some people that's where their moment is, you know, and they're scrapbooking. We did scrapbooking layouts and different. That's why I had all that 12 by 12 paper, you know. And my sweetheart brought me some bone broth with some butter in it because I haven't really eaten anything today. Guys, I woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning thinking I had forgotten to do something. You know, it was like one of those things where you're like, I forgot to do it, you know. He is really sweet, Sherry. He is really sweet. He is also cleaning out the refrigerator. He's also cleaning out the refrigerator. So he probably saw this big thing of bone broth that I made. And he's like, how many more days we're here? You haven't worked for about a year now? Well, I worked up until, when did I leave my job? September? October? I left around then when we thought we were going to be, I think the end of September I left. We thought we were going to be out of here before them, but a bunch of stuff didn't work out like that. He is an amazing packer, Trish. When he went to UPS, they offered him, they go, do you want a job? He was like, no. It's like, you can't afford me. You have migraines every day? Oh, no. Wow. Your Hanaisen works for Hawaiian Telling. They have 1,200 employees, 700 are supervisors. Many supervise no one. Oh. Oh, that's so sweet. That is so sweet, Tina. Oh, Dana, I hope you improve. Prayers for you. My prayers for you too, Sherry. I'm praying too. I pray for all of you guys all the time because I know this pandemic has really shined a light on me and my priorities. I don't know if you guys feel that way about yourself, but it shined a light on me and my priorities because I wasn't putting myself first. You're absolutely right, Sherry. You're absolutely right. I wasn't putting myself first. I wasn't putting myself in my life. I was absolutely group hugs. Trish, you've been on my mind, girl. I'm so glad I figured out what it was. But when I realized that I hadn't been putting myself first, I wasn't doing anybody any good. And that's not something I didn't know, but it's like you're so caught up caregiving and then working or doing whatever it takes to just get through that you don't realize that it's an imbalance, right? And so I just stopped. Like, my job wanted me to keep working and they would have let me work from home. You guys, my phone rang. People have no boundaries. My phone would start ringing at 6 a.m. and it would ring until midnight. And it was just a lot. And so I just let it, I had to like draw a definitive line because they were piling more and more and more work on me. And they knew I was leaving. And so finally I just said, okay, this is my day. I gave a date. My direct boss was kind of like snarky with me and said, oh, something. And I just said, okay, my date's this date. And then she stopped. And now she texted me the other day, I really miss you. I'm thinking, yeah, because I did your job and mine. You know, I would miss me too. You're absolutely right, Sherry. I know, right? So this pandemic really showed me that I can do what I want from home and I don't have to work for anyone else. I just have to figure it out for myself, like what it looks like, what I want it to look like, and how I want it to be. And I've worked for myself many times, but I've had businesses where they weren't work from home. They were like owning a business and then having to show up when employees don't show up. And you know what I mean? So it's just been a big learning thing for me. It's been it's kind of like an aha moment, but kind of more like a duh, you know? Like, duh. How old are you? Duh. And so you think it'll be clear when I get there? I hope so. I have to say, it has been both cathartic and stressful leaving everything and letting go. Yes, being the boss means you're never going home. So I owned an art gallery, you guys, for a long time. And I had my own work in it too. And I was a metalsmith, and I had beautiful fine art paintings on the wall and sculptures and a bunch of other artists besides myself. But what happened was, I did it as a venue to sell my own work, but then I had no time to spend time making work. You know, so then it was kind of like, what am I doing this for? You know, and if I'm really, and if I'm just going to be in charge of everything and selling artwork and stuff like that instead of making artwork, I'd rather work for somebody else where I don't have all that responsibility. You know, the monthly inventory, all of it. You guys get it, right? So, and then we moved here. And this has been a a barrage of new experiences all the day, all the time. Like it's been like, okay, well, I'm doing really well at this, and then the market changes, and then the market changes, and then the market changes. He used to do craft shows all the time until it sucked all the fun out of crafting. So you quit. What did you make, Sherry? Love you, Jamie. Go to bed, girl. I love you. I'll text you tomorrow. Jamie, please feel better. Take your vitamins. I love you, girl. What did you sell, Sherry? We are all praying for you, Jamie, girl. You got to get yourself well. Wood items, pretty much anything. But I think that's awesome. Hey, Lisa, girl, we love you. You've been in my thoughts and prayers. You guys want to learn how to make that crazy paper that I made in that journal that I don't know. I don't think any's in your journal, Leslie. It was in somebody else's journal. It was in the wedding journal. Go over to Lisa. Lisa, My Eclectic Life. She has it on, I think it's called, Lisa, is that video called Coffee, Dying, and More? You sold everything all the time and you couldn't stand it. I get it. I so understand. I'm happy to see you, Miss Lisa. Love you, girl. You and your family have been in my thoughts and prayers. So go there and check her channel out. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. And I'll post it in the, maybe I have it. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I posted it. I might have put it in the wedding book thing that I made my daughter. Let me see. Of course I didn't put it in here. Like, what is wrong with me? Oh my gosh. I should go back and put it in that. I know I put it in one of my videos. I thought it was the wedding video, but it wasn't. You guys, it's so funny. It's so weird. Do you guys find it really weird, like when your children suddenly get married and then they tell you the things that you told them? It's like, it's so funny. It's like, it's so funny. My daughter that got married, she called me to tell me something. The one that got married during the pandemic, the one I made that book for. Here it's called Paper Coffee Dyed Plus. Hang on. I'm gonna share it with all of you guys. Anyway, so my daughter, she tells me that she's like, what does she call me to tell me today? Something about budgeting and shopping, and I don't know. And it was like, so if you guys, I know that some of you guys saw that journal that I made for the Disabled Artists Foundation. So that journal, I made 2 of them. One of them was a really junky junk journal, and that one Leslie got. And then the other one was like guys, what was it? It was a book that was like I made a quilted cover, and then I made all those dyed pages and stuff inside of it. It had the ones that looked marbled are the ones that I learned from Lisa, and that YouTube video that I put right there is the one that goes to her channel. And then and then you can see it. You should definitely subscribe. She teaches you all kinds of cool things, and she's fun to hang out with. You guys see how lucky I am? My neighbor, he's decided he's gonna. I think he is blowing. He's blowing leaves, blowing something. It's so ridiculous. So anyway, no, I love you, Lisa. Girl, I love you. You're always in my thoughts and prayers. And if those of you that like to faith journal, head over to Lisa's channel. She does some beautiful faith journaling. What time is it here? It's like 4:30 in the afternoon here. So what time is it on the East Coast? Is it 9:30? So you guys have to come and hang out. So yeah, it's 9:30. Yeah. So you guys have to come hang out with me on New Year's Eve. It'll be my final crafting day here in Hawaii. And it's I think my time slot's at 3:30. You guys, I don't know. I'll make a video and post it up. And I'll post the schedule in that, what is it called? The community tab. It's 8:30 where you are, 9:30 where Lisa is. I mean, we don't have daylight saving time. So when you guys go back to not having daylight saving time, it's like 6 hours from here to the East Coast. Right now it's only 5, right? So I will try to put that in the community tab. It's New Year's Eve and New Year's Day crafting, and mine you guys, I think it's like 6:30. I think it's 3:30 to 4:30. Hang on, let me just see. I think it's, my gosh. I know Meredith sent me the schedule, but I don't know. I'll have to go back and look, but I'll make sure I make a video so you guys can see or put it in my community tab. What did she put it? Let me see if it's under Meredith. Let's see if she put it under New Year's Eve. Maybe she put it in Phibbsville. I don't know, you guys. I'm so off on my. But it'll be good because there's a lot of people crafting all day long. It's called, here we go, New Year's Streamathon. Here, let me see if I can put it all. Let me see. It starts at 5:30 a.m. Central Time. No, these are all Eastern time zones, okay? So normally Mary posts in Central. So Eastern time zones. So Mary is at 5:30 a.m. and I'm at 4:30 p.m. So 4:30 p.m. Eastern time is what time? That is, I'm trying to think what time that is here. It's 5 hours less. So 12:30 in the afternoon. 12:30 to 2:30 my time here. So it'd be 4:30 to 6:30. And then Janet Young's she's ringing in the new year, Janet. So that's when you can find out your you can find out what the schedule for the, let me see if I can post it. Let me see. This is called the New Year's Streamathon. Looks like some really fun folks. Hi, Anne. How are you, girl? I was just gluing away. I'm trying to craft my last few days here in Hawaii. I was gluing away, working on my glue book here, my little, basically, you guys, I found a whole pile of stuff that I know that if I don't glue it down, I'd have to throw it away. I am flying out. My plane leaves at midnight, Trish. Midnight on New Year's Eve. 11:45 on New Year's Eve. Isn't that crazy? 11:45 on New Year's Eve? Crazy. $11:45 on New Year's Eve. You guys, tell me where I can find my community tab on this thing. Guys, this is so stupid because this is what happens when I haven't streamed in a long time. I don't do anything in a long time. And then I'm like looking. It used to be so easy. Why can't I not find it? So community tab. Okay, community. Here we go. I'm posting it in my community tab. This is the New Year's Streamathon. And post. There you go. New Year's Streamathon. I posted it. So everybody can have it. There you go. So, hi, Rosie. How are you, girl? Hi, Jilly. I will literally be flying into the new year. You are absolutely right. I'm leaving Hawaii, Rosie. I am moving to community tab. Doesn't work on iPads. I bought a house in North Carolina. I bought a house. When did we closed on our house in August, I think, or September. I don't remember. Maybe it was September. I'll have to look. And I don't know whether we closed in August or September, but we closed in one of those months. And we bought a house in North Carolina, and it's just taken us that long to get out of here. It's, like you've lived someplace a long time. You've accumulated a lot of stuff. So I've accumulated, girls. I'm down to the ends of it, though. Yes, I'm excited. We bought an old Victorian house. She's 116 years old. She's fabulous. Okay, I still need something there, or I could just leave the contents because I kind of like it. Yeah, it was like a transitioning thing. It was us. It was for a while. We thought we were going to end up taking care of Blake's dad. His dad has dementia. He has a type of dementia that your body doesn't die from, but generally dementia itself is a terminal illness, which I didn't know that much about dementia, but I've learned a lot. And anyway, it is not that. The kind of dementia he has is not that. The kind of dementia he has is more like a mental illness type of dementia. His body, and he's in perfectly physically. His father was always in good physical shape, but he's in perfect physical shape. But he is mentally not. So we thought we were going to take care of him for a while. Actually, for a long time, we thought we were going to take care of him. But he was here with us in Hawaii for about, 6 months. And it was just really difficult. His dad kept running away. And it was just really hard. And unless we wanted to live ourselves in a virtual prison, which, you guys, he thought he was MacGyver. He was like MacGyvering it out. He was, he did. He He was really MacGyver, you guys. He really thought he was MacGyver. He thought he was escaping. I don't know what he thought he was escaping, but he thought he was escaping something. And so Blake took him and put him in a memory care facility. That was very hard, but it was a blessing though, because it was like the way I found it and the way we did it. It was a real blessing. So he is. So we were originally looking for a house. We were originally looking for a house that he could live with us in. But after the whole experience of him running away and all that, we realized it was best. Guys, he ran away. I can't even tell you. He ran away so many times that he pulled all the window. We live in an old house that has like louvered windows. He pulled all the louvers out and crawled out the window. I mean, he was MacGyvering. He was a MacGyver, that's for sure. So one time he ran away and he took his suitcase and he dug a hole in the neighbor's backyard somewhere over there and he piled leaves and stuff over it so nobody would see it. I mean, he thought he was he thought he was a spy or something, like an espionage times or something. I don't know. It was pretty crazy. So yeah, we did have some kind of a watch GPS thing, Val, but you know what? He took it off. It's like, it was insane, you guys. I can't even tell you. It was very emotional for all of us because, every time he would run away, we were like, is this it? Like, and running away in Hawaii it's not great because you can fall down gulches and die. What do you need, babe?
You need anything?
No, I'm good. No, I'm good. You leaving?
Anything?
What are you doing?
I mean, I know we're out of pet pads, so I gotta go get some pet pads. I'm just gonna be out.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think that before you take that stuff to the food pantry, I'd just double check it with Steve because I know he eats a lot of that stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I could call him later.
He's welcome to it. I can take it, the thing in it. I can put it in the truck. Go with the plants that are definitely going to him, and he can take what he wants, and then I'll come back to the food bag.
Oh, that's a good idea.
That way he's sure that it's what he wants.
No, that's a great idea. He's definitely not going to want those lupini beans. Did you ever try them?
No, I didn't realize they were.
Yeah, open them. They're like in a little individual pouches. You actually would like them because they're like kind of a little pungent. You're supposed to eat them like peanuts.
Like peanuts. I didn't know.
Try them though. You might like them.
Yeah. Did you decide once you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Okay. I love you. Be careful.
Not that good.
Be careful.
Not at all. Really?
Thanks, Julie. Yeah, the GPS thing would be. Your dad needs a GPS. Well, we had one. I think an Apple Watch has one in it, but they got to wear it. They have these tiles too that you can put in it. They have tiles as well. I'm sorry, Dana. I know it's hard, girl. It was like, you have no idea. He stopped eating for a little while. It was a whole thing. Okay. It was like the eating thing became like everything that he could try to control became the obsession, and so for us it was really difficult. It was very difficult. It was hard. It was very, very, very hard. And I don't think anybody, and every person's experience is different, but it was hard for us. It was definitely hard. It was super duper hard for us. He shaved off his eyebrows. Oh no. Oh, Dana, I'm so sorry. Yeah, it was super hard for us. We had a very difficult time. The memory care facility we found for him was a blessing. I found it honestly out of desperation because it was just a lot. And now we're just doing our best. And, you know, he's so much happier though. He's so much happier. Yeah, yeah, it was a struggle. He stopped eating, he stopped doing different things. It was really not good. It was not good. But there wasn't anything we could do about it. It was like we did our best, and we tried. Blake went and lived with him for a little bit just to see, because honestly, we hadn't been around his dad. I mean, he'd been here on vacation a few times, but seeing somebody in a few times, and he had definitely gotten worse. So I don't know. I mean, he's happier now. He has friends. He's in a safe place. They definitely, I mean, he's been able to leave a little bit, but in supervised field trips situations. Hi, Linda. Happy holidays to you, girl. Love you. I've been thinking about you. Did you have a good Christmas? I hope so. I hope so. I hope you did, girl. So tomorrow I will do a very small, very, very, very small live sale with my very last treasures. I have about 6 or 7 wallpaper books, and I have some fabric, bits and pieces of fabric, and like I mentioned earlier, I have a few boxes and few. You had it very nice with your girls. Oh, I'm so happy. A very handful of mystery boxes, mystery envelopes. And then I'm going to stream on New Year's Eve at noon my time, from noon to 2, which is, am I noon to 2? You guys, I just posted it. What is it? It's 4 o'clock. Yeah, noon to 12:30 to 2:30, New Year's Eve. Let me see. Am I right? Hang on. Yes, 4:30 to 6:30 Eastern time, which is 12:30 to 2:30, and that'll be my last craft along from here. So if you guys want to come and hang out with me, or even come and say hi tomorrow when I'm going to do my little sales. Happy New Year, Rosie. Love you, girl. Oh, thank you. Dana, it was intense. Finally I just had to let some of it. I mean, it's probably only meaningful to someone like you or me, but it's not meaningful to anybody else. Does that make sense? It's only meaningful to you and me. I'm excited to see my sister. You guys haven't seen her in a whole year, maybe longer. haven't seen her in a while. It'll be awesome. I'm excited to see her. Yes, of course I'm going to stream after I move, Linda. I just got to get there and get it all set up. That's been a whole ordeal within itself. You don't know if you can get, well, I'm forced to, Leslie. What am I going to do? I can't take it all with me. As much as I'd love to take it all with me, girls, I can't take it all with me. And as understanding and sweet as my partner is, part of him is like, girl, you have too much stuff. He doesn't say that, but I can see it in his eyes. Okay. And I think I've worked on this journal off and on for a couple of years. I mean, not steady, it's like, it's been an ebb and flow, but a couple of years, I mean, it's big. I mean, it's got a lot of pages in it. And I did glue 2 pages together. I didn't take any out. I think I might have taken some out in the back, but that would have been because I made the pocket, but I didn't take out any other ones. A couple of years off and on. I mean, it still has some blank pages. I did fill up some blank pages today. It definitely has some pages to go, but a couple of years. I mean, yeah, it's taken, gosh, I don't know when I actually started it. It could even be longer than that ago. Thank you, Leslie. He has been totally a trooper, Dana. I think he's ready. He's been ready for weeks and months for us to be gone. But it's been a bunch of things that have kept us from being gone. So, and somewhere I have more tickets to put in here. Well, look, this one came from 2019, and when I went to see Krishna Das. This one was from 2020 this has been 2019 or maybe 2018 because it was A Star Is Born. Good night, Linda. We love you. Happy New Year. We love you. All I can say is that moving this time has been harder than any other move I've made, and I don't know why. It's so silly because I've lived in other places longer, but it has been really difficult, and I don't even know why. I won't miss my loud neighbors. Can you hear their kids now playing basketball right outside my window? But yeah, it still has pages to go. I just don't. I love this book though. And actually I started another one, but I can't find it. Blake might have already packed it and sent it. How are you, Miss Lisa? I love you, girl. How are you? I'm sure you're as good as can be expected. But that is not easy. I don't know why I like this picture, you guys. I just do. It's so ridiculous. Good moments, bad moments, very long days. Lisa, grief is so personal. I have to tell you, I lost my parents more than 15 years. My oldest daughter's 15. So 14 years ago, I lost my mom. I lost my dad maybe 12 or 11. And not a day goes by that I don't talk to them out loud, that I don't grieve for them, that I don't want to pick up the phone and call them. So I can't even imagine what you're going through. I just know this, that nobody knows what's best for you except for you. Because I had a friend tell me, you just need to get over it. And I was like, you have no understanding. Everybody's relationships are different. And nobody but you knows what you need. And it's hard because, think about it. I've just tried it. It's like you wake up one day and you go, I need to put myself back into my own life. You didn't even realize that you weren't. It's like, we love you, Lisa, girl. And I, Yeah, I had a friend. She told me I needed to get over it. She told me, I was like, oh, okay. It's like, thank you very much. Thank you for your input that I did not ask for. Thank you. I used to, when my mom got, right before my mom got sick, I used to have a very booming. I like the iPage too. Booming jewelry business, booming wholesale jewelry business where I supplied tons and tons and tons of stores with my artwork. And then my mom got sick and my mom became my priority, because my days with her were few. And I wrote to all my stores and I said, I'm going through a challenge in my life and I will let you know when I can resume. Please, this is how much inventory I have. Please put your orders in by whatever this date is. And then that was it. Well, one lady, after my mom got sick with cancer in like November December, and then she had passed by March. So what did I have? December, January, February, March, no time, right? And so I was flying back and forth. She was living in California. I was living in New York. And I just had my daughter that's 15 now. I just had her. She's like little, a few months old. Flying back and forth. And I had this lady call me up and tell me, like, basically that I was running her business it was very inconvenient for her, is what she told me. And you guys, I don't even know, like, I was so devastated by it because it was my livelihood, but at the same time, I knew that my days were numbered with my mom, and I was never going to say I wish I worked one more day, but I was going to say I wish I spent more time with her. And that's when I realized that nobody knows what your grief is but you. And you can try to explain it to them. Not that you need to explain anything to anybody because you don't. But at that point, I just gave myself permission to just be where I was. And I said, well, I'm so sorry. I guess we can't do business. And then she tried to like wrestle me back in. And I told her the truth. I said, I was at my most vulnerable. And whereas I could have felt more inclined to want to continue to work with you, I feel you and I do not have we're not on the same page. That's what I told her. And I was just like, oh, forget this, telling me I needed to hurry up. It's like, yeah, right. So, Lisa, we love you. And anything you need, you holler at one of us. We may not totally understand, but we're all here for you. We are all here for you. Just write us a note. I'm really struggling. I need some help. Oh, Lisa, that's so awesome that she's still at home with you. That's so good. There are no rules for grief or anticipatory. No. It is unique to every person and it's deep. Like, you guys, I think I'm like, this is going to sound so ridiculous, but I think like I'm grieving leaving here. And it's like, it doesn't make sense. I'm moving on to a much better living situation and lifestyle, but there's a part of me that's grieving it. And to explain that to somebody, they'd be like, what? So, I usually don't. So I don't know, I'm just saying it's taken me, my parents been gone 15 years and I still grieve for them. 15 years. They weren't my significant other. They weren't my spouse. They weren't the love of my life. I don't know what that, and it, we do. I agree. That is very true, Leslie. Every life change, good or bad, has grief attached. Ugh, you're right. You're right, Trish. I am. I mean, it's so silly, but I am. I mean, I'm looking forward to the new adventure of my life. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to all the new adventures that I'm going to have with you guys too, and our creative community, and how we're going to work, and what it's going to be like, and what everyone's creating. I'm looking forward to all of that. Julie, I don't know what's normal anymore, but I just know it's how I feel, and I also know that it probably doesn't make sense to anybody but me, right? It probably does not make one bit of sense to anyone but me. Lisa, you're so blessed that you have your daughter home. I don't know. I'm very close to my kids, as I think you are as well, and it's like it's hard, but it's nice to have somebody. It's nice to have somebody there that gets you, understands you. No, it is okay to admit it. I agree with you. You're grieving an old job you had at times. No, you can't drive back easily. Oh, Lisa, that's so beautiful. And I feel like, and maybe some of you guys with adult children, you can relate. There's so many people that can't wait for their children to leave, and I'm assuming that their experiences are just different than mine are. Not that mine are better or theirs are better. And granted, some people do need to leave in order to flourish. I've seen that true in some of my nieces and nephews, that leaving home has made them flourish and become, better or whatever they want to be. But for myself, whenever my kids come back home, which is when living here has been more frequent than not, because my oldest daughter got stuck here during the pandemic, which she wasn't gratefully happy for, but I was. And then she came back not too long ago to help me with a transitionary period with her sister that I needed help with when Blake was dealing with his dad and wasn't home, and I was working that crazy job. But I felt like it was extra innings. Like it was extra. Like it was the opportunity to have extra time with them, to get to know them as adult children or adults, not just as the child that what I mean, to really get to know them. And I feel like for myself, that's what worked best for me. But like explaining that to somebody who doesn't have that same experience, they're like, why do you let your kids move back home? You better kick them out and all this stuff. And I was like, because I know for myself, I wouldn't, even if I lived close to my daughter, I wouldn't have the same experience that I'm having with her living with me. I mean, it's not the same for everybody. So I think you're so blessed, Lisa. You say outside of yourself, you're still grieving that place. I get it. I've had old jobs like that where I loved them, or there was parts of it that I missed. Not all of it. There's some that I didn't miss any of it. You like your adult children? Leslie, you're so right. It does become a new way to bond. It is priceless. I agree. And they still like you. You know, it's so funny. It's funny when your kids start like calling you up and giving you advice on things that you taught them, you know, or they think that you're so dumb. You know, my kids for a while thought I was just really dumb. I mean, like, how did I possibly make it through life? And they still like you. I really like this book. I'm like glad that I'm still glad that there's still pages to finish in it. Yeah. Oh, you're next door to your mom and stuff. Oh, that's so awesome, Lisa. Oh, Val, I totally get it. I totally understand. But you know what else you're doing for your family though, Val? And I'm looking at what I'm doing is the same for mine. Is I'm creating a place for my children to come. Most people, like, you raise your children in your home and you stay in your home, but when you live in Hawaii and you know you let go of your home or whatever, it's not the same. Or you live here and it just gets crazy, just unaffordable. So now my big old eclectic house, my big 116-year-old girl, is going to be a place for any and all of them to come. Oh, Lisa, that's so awesome. Well, I have a few pages, but not that many, so I'm kind of excited. I mean, I have some images; they just don't quite go on it, you know. Yes, generational living. We certainly learn that here. You know, that's like such a way of life. You know, when I grew up, and I'll be 58 this year, but when I was little, we lived in a house where my grandparents lived. My grandmother's uncle, so what would that be? My great great uncle. She took care of him in her home. So it was me, my mom and dad, my mom's parents, and then my grandmother's uncle, and my grandfather. And then as time went on, like, we moved into a different house, but then my grandfather passed, so we moved back to help my grandmother. It was like, so I grew up in that multi-generational household and that multi-generational living, and that's just the way of life. You take care of your elderly family, and that's just how it was. I didn't know other people didn't have their grandparents around or their great great uncles or whoever, right? But I think the pandemic has kind of pushed people back into that. I mean, it's that way here in Hawaii out of need. You know, it's become that way out of need because it costs too much. You can't live here without extra assistance. Like, my kids couldn't afford to live here on their own. My middle daughter and her then boyfriend, now husband, were paying, I don't know how much rent they were paying. It's crazy. But, well, my lovelies, I'm going to say goodnight to you for you guys, and I will be around tomorrow for my final sale. Not very many things. I have like 6 or 7 wallpaper books. I have the 3 boxes. I had 4, now I have 3 boxes and 3 mystery boxes and maybe 10, 8 or maybe 9 now, 8 or 9 mystery envelopes. I have some fabrics, and I still have a couple of those, these old Waverly novels, which I really love. And they come with like a piece of fabric and some other stuff in their pack, but these are from like the 1800s and they're really beautiful. This, I think, from the 1890s. They're really, really quite nice. I have a couple of these left, and that's really it. I love you guys. Lisa, you're in my thoughts and prayers. If you need anything, you holler. Look at this one. This one's called the Pirate. It's got that's a plate that you could definitely use in your art and not worry about it, because from the late 1800s, it's copyright free. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. It won't be long, and then I'll see you again on New Year's Eve. All right, my lovelies. Guys, stay safe. Take care of yourself. I love you, Lisa. You're in my thoughts and prayers. And girl, you call me if you need anything, okay? Or message me or whatever. Whatever I can do, I will. Hey, who knows? Maybe you need some dyed papers. I can send you a batch. Anyway, I love you guys. Thank you for being my peeps. Thank you for being on this journey with me. Thank you for being kind and caring to each other. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye for now.